4, 3, 2, 1. And we're live. This is a bummer of a fight week, but also an awesome fight week. Like, I'm very excited. Did you see the latest countdown? What is it? All Access? What do they call it? No.
Embedded?
Embedded, yeah. I'm always trying to come up with the name of those
There's
things.
always some, they're all the same, but
Yeah.
All Access, Embedded, 24/7.
Embedded's very good. I should remember the name. It's very good.
They're all
And
good.
this new one is really good because it's got Max Holloway running on a treadmill, 2 treadmills over from Nurmagomedov, who's also running on a treadmill. And they're fucking very cool to each other. It's very interesting.
Khabib thanked him for taking the fight, which he should.
Yeah.
Which he should. Thanks for taking the fight. And then they have the same weight coach.
Yeah. That's crazy. Lockhart, right?
It's Lockhart.
Yeah, it's Lockhart.
Yeah, that's
Lockhart is going. Is Lockhart working with Nurmagomedov
yes,
as well?
Both of them.
So Lockhart is legit. Like, he goes over calculations of like how much you weigh, how much water you're going to take, and he's weighing things out. It took him an hour and a half to do the calculations.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, hey, we're going to wing this. It's like, no. We're going to do this weight cut correctly, and he's got it down to the day. You know, like, it's 6 days to lose. I think he was 171.
Is that I was wondering what did he start at? Is it 171?
Yeah, so I think he's got to lose 16 pounds.
What's crazy is when Max was on my show, I was talking to him a little bit off air, and this is on record. I'm not spilling anything that he didn't say, but he just goes, with the injury,
there we go, right there.
Jesus Christ.
Embedded, I think, is better than that UFC, not UFC, the HBO ones. I think it's better
the
than all of
24/7?
them. Yeah.
How dare you?
I think it's better
The
than all of them.
24/7 when there's a big fight?
Yeah,
I think
Because
in general
this is
they're better.
raw.
I think in general they're better because they do more of it.
Yep.
But a 24/7,
They're very good.
They're fucking good.
They're very good.
With Liev Schreiber?
Oh, I love that
Bro,
guy.
watch
I love
your
that
words,
guy.
son.
I love that guy, but
Yeah.
I like these better.
Remember when they had the
alley
alley cat Liev Schreiber?
Yeah.
He's like, tonight, here we go. But it was nowhere near the
no
same.
good.
Yeah, it was horrible.
They
fired
this
him.
because there's almost no narration, right?
Yeah.
It's almost just
It tells
all
a story.
the footage. I want to see the footage.
I would have liked the video of when they called Max with the fight. Because from what I heard, he goes, Khabib, that's the toughest guy in the world. Fuck yeah, let's go. Which is insane.
Why don't they have a video of that?
That no one knew. I don't think they knew, to turn the video on. I don't think Max knew why they were
That
calling.
would be an amazing video.
Of him being like,
Especially if he wins.
this is my thing with Max is I think Khabib is the toughest fight in the world on 6 days' notice. I'd rather fight anybody else in the world than Khabib on 6 days because of his style and just his tenacity. But for Max, win, lose, or draw, whatever happens Saturday night, if you don't respect and like him even more after this, you're a moron. You're a fucking moron.
There's very few champions on a run like Max Holloway's on that would be willing to take this fight on 6 days' notice. And also, I should say, coming off of a broken foot.
Correct.
So he had to pull out of a fight with a broken foot with Frankie Edgar, which just happened. So, I mean, how healed is he?
And like I said on my show, he was saying, I've been doing some jiu-jitsu, but in the swing of things, for me, it's good because I haven't been balls deep into training. I've been just been doing a little jiu-jitsu, getting a light workout, but it gives me time with my family. He goes, this in camp, you're present, but you're not, which is true. And he goes, so I'm going through it. I'm with my son and the family, but I'm thinking about something else. He goes, so this has been good for me to really focus on my family. That was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Wow.
So then, bam, you're fighting Khabib. And the reason why he wants to fight Khabib is because he thinks Khabib's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Yeah.
And which is nuts because, when you look at Khabib's resume, it's good. It doesn't blow your hair back. He's 25-0, for God's sake. It's good, but it's not like all this crazy, big names on his record.
Right.
But you talked, I was just in San Jose. Jon Fitch goes, dude, and this is Jon Fitch.
Yeah.
Could be, welterweight GOAT. He's fucking, not GOAT, but he's goddamn good. He goes, I've never seen anyone in my lifetime like Khabib. He goes, I fought GSP in his prime, he would beat him. That's how good he is. DC said he's the pound-for-pound greatest fighter he's ever seen.
DC said that he hand fights with him. Like, DC's, the heavyweight Strikeforce champion. He goes, dude, we go to war. We go to war.
War.
Like, imagine that. DC's a gorilla. He's jacked. I mean, DC's got some body fat on him. He's strong as a fucking ox.
DC's so goddamn talented.
He's
it's
so
not even funny.
good.
It's not even funny.
Watch when DC throws Josh Barnett through the air. When they fought Strikeforce, you just go, Jesus.
Remember when he did the Hendo?
Beast. Dude,
Offensive.
the Hendo fight was offensive.
He's a goddamn American.
It was offensive. He ragdolled Hendo and couldn't be a cooler guy. Like DC,
the nicest guy ever.
DC might be the nicest fighter of all time.
One of my favorite people. Him or Max, they're up there.
I love them
For
both.
nicest fighters of
I don't
all
know
time.
Max as well as I know DC because I've done so many shows with him. But for DC, as good as he is, to say that him and Khabib go to war, I'm like, that's crazy.
Dude, Josh Thomson, who's the captain of AK, said, you know, Ed Ruth, Penn State, 3-time national champion, freak, just started doing MMA in Bellator, complete freak wrestling. I was in San Jose, and I did a show with him, and I go, what were you doing? He goes, I just came from practice, Khabib's second to last practice. I go, what was he doing? He goes, just straight wrestling. I said, who was he wrestling? He goes, Ed Ruth. And I go, oh my God, the Penn State legend? He goes, yeah, man. I go, how's that go down? And he's like, only one of them's going down, and ain't Khabib. I'm like, what? Ed Ruth? And he goes, bro. I've never seen anything like it. So there's just this legend of Khabib. When they tell me that, it scares me. Like, Jesus. What?
Well,
what are we going to do?
You see it in action when you saw the Barboza fight. He's walking towards him like a zombie, gets a hold of him, and just ragdolls him.
But this is what's great about this fight, and this is what makes our sport so special is, yeah, I'm super bummed. I've been in deep depression because Ferguson fell out, and we've talked about this off air. But our sport's so special because what Max Holloway has the chance to do Saturday night, if he can beat him, if he can somehow pull that out, there's nothing like it in professional sports. There's nothing like it. If LeBron goes out, the team still goes on. It's whatever. If Tom Brady gets hurt, it sucks, but they still play. Here, you know, man, Max has a huge chance. Now, are the odds stacked against him? Good God, are they ever. There couldn't be a worse matchup for him. But what's the one Achilles heel, if there is one, for Khabib? A guy who can strike going backwards. Max Holloway's pretty fucking good at going backwards.
Yeah, it's a fascinating fight if there was no controversy, if it wasn't like a 6-day time period for him.
But that's what's so great.
Yeah,
that's what's kind of cool.
The only other fight that's been like that was Nate, when Nate took on Conor in the first
Here's
fight.
the difference, though. Nate's the bigger guy, right? Nate's the bigger guy, the more seasoned guy there. So for Nate, it's like, yeah, it was short notice, but that's a rough matchup for Conor.
Right.
You know, Conor should be an underdog in that fight. They don't even fight at the same weight class. So that makes a little more sense.
Do. But wait a minute, they do. Nate fights at 55.
Before that, though, he's fighting at 70, right?
No. He only fought 3 times at 70.
But he's fought at 70 is the point.
He fought at
Conor's
70.
never fought at 70.
Right, but when Conor fought him at 70, that was 70.
Yeah, Conor's never fought. He's not a 70-pounder.
Right, but I mean, Nate, when he fought 70, it didn't go well. I mean, who did he fight? He fought Rory McDonald at 70.
Tough matchup.
Who else did he fight? What else did he fight at 70? But he lost his fights at 70, I think.
Wasn't great at. No, he didn't lose all of them. Wasn't
He
great
won
at.
one?
Yeah, wasn't great at 70. But the thing is, he's the bigger man. He's a much bigger guy.
But if they agreed to fight at 155, he would make the 155 weight limit.
100%.
Yeah, so it's like there was all this talk about him being so much bigger than Conor.
Oh, he's bigger for sure.
He's taller. He's taller.
He's a bigger man.
He's a bigger guy.
He walks around heavier.
Well, when he gets heavier, but when they fight at 55, he makes that weight, and Conor makes that weight tough too. They both struggle to make 155.
It's a much easier cut for Conor at 55.
It's not the hardest cut, but when you look at the difference between how he looks physically when he fought Nate at 170 and how he looks when he's, 145, he was awful.
I was going to say,
like he's on death's
Conor can make
door.
145. Nate could never. I mean, there's no chance.
He probably could have made it
If
when
he cut
was
his
on
leg
The
off.
Ultimate Fighter.
Cut a leg off. Like realistic, he's not making 45.
Well, he was very thin during the Ultimate Fighter days. Remember?
We
When he
have
fought
to be
Manny
because you're on the
Gamburrian?
Ultimate Fighter, right? So you have to
Right.
make weight basically 3 times in a row.
Well, I just think he filled in too. I mean, he was real young back then. Too.
100%, but you have to maintain a lower weight.
Yeah, that's the closest fight to it, though.
I agree.
That fight's
No,
the
I agree with
closest.
you.
And the same kind of balls that Nate has is like what. But Max, the difference is that like Max is taking on a guy that everybody's avoiding. No one's been able to solve the riddle of Khabib. No one's even put him in jeopardy. Like he's undefeated.
Michael Johnson hit him, but that really wasn't. It
Who knows what
wobbled
was
him a
going
little bit.
We were talking about that the other day. Who knows what was going on in that fight? Because that was a fight where he had the same issue cutting weight that he did when he had to pull out of the Ferguson fight, where his body shut down.
Correct.
So who knows? He had that same issue with the Michael Johnson. He might have been severely compromised in that fight, even though he beat the fuck out of him.
Agree. The difference between McGregor and Diaz is they'll both keep it on the feet, really, right?
Yeah.
Diaz is a phenomenal boxer. Conor's a phenomenal striker. Max Holloway, phenomenal striker. Khabib, phenomenal grappler. So it's even more of a task because Khabib's not going to sit there and strike. That's your one way to win? Cool. I'm the best grappler on earth.
Yeah.
He'll entertain it for a little bit, but if he wants you down, there's literally no one in the world from, I'll say, 155 to 170 who he's not going to take down.
I really want to see him in some straight grappling competition.
Do you?
Hearing this? Yeah. Hearing that about how amazing he is in the training room.
I'll tell you
it from a guy like DC.
I know. And Fitch and Thomson.
Fitch, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about all pioneers of the sport.
Yeah, animals.
I want to see him against Woodley at 70. I think 70 is his natural weight class.
Yeah. I think he'd probably be a lot healthier. Imagine that. Imagine him being
Woodley
stronger and healthier.
Woodley and Khabib.
Jesus.
What?
But Woodley's a different thing, man. You miss. You fuck up and you leave yourself in a position to get hit with one of those nuclear bombs.
Oh, he'll knock you out.
Woodley could put people to sleep.
And he can grapple his ass off.
Grapple his ass off, hard to take down, and puts people to sleep with one shot. I don't think Woodley gets his due. And I think the best evidence is the two fights that people point to where they say that like Woodley should have done better. Those are the Thomson fights.
The Maia fight.
The Maia fight, but Maia never got hurt. Like he hit Maia a bunch of times, but it was uneventful because he was hurt. Woodley was hurt early in the first round with his shoulder. He fucked his shoulder up.
But also he fought Maia the way you should fight Maia if you don't want to go to the ground.
100%. But my point is, in those two fights with Thomson, Woodley was the one who hurt Thomson. He hurt him bad in both fights. Almost stopped him in both fights.
Yeah, I don't want to see them ever fight again, but I hear you. Great fight. Yeah, I'll hard pass.
If it was a crazy UFC 200 card and that was on it, I wouldn't be mad.
Me
neither.
Was one of.
But as a main event, I get it. I get it. I like
why
it.
People are
Saw
upset.
it twice.
Wow, cool. Yeah, that's a super complicated equation to solve. Well, I'm set. Though. They're just not good dance
partners. If
it
was the same thing, if they just said, no, this time's going to be different. I'm going to war. To war. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then 2 rounds in, you're like, no.
Like, you bastards.
They're just circling each other.
That's like Dana on Ferguson and Khabib. He's like, that fight's never happening. A 5th time, not happening. I'm like, I get it, man. It's such a bummer, though.
Let's talk business. Like, I don't know how many pay-per-views this was going to do, but for the hardcore fans, this was a big one. Because this is the first time Khabib is fighting a guy that's super versatile, that can fight standing up, can knock you out with one shot, tough as fuck, has incredible endurance, and can grapple off his back.
And the most dangerous guy Khabib will ever face.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson has the perfect style to test, so we could really find out where Khabib's at, because we know where Tony's at. We kind of know where Khabib's at.
Do we?
We kind of do. We said the Barboza fight, in my opinion, was the best example of it.
Dos Anjos.
Dos Anjos was great.
Oh, that's old school Dos Anjos.
Dos Anjos also compromised to make 155.
Correct.
Dos Anjos at 170.
Different animal.
That's a different fucking animal. That's a totally different beast. And I think Dos Anjos is one of those guys where you point to a perfect example of a guy whose body just was not allowing him to compete at 155.
Agree.
Because he's a fucking animal in his mind. I mean, no one works harder than that guy.
Yeah.
You see that guy train?
Yes, I have.
You've seen him in person, right?
Yes. Monster. Yeah. However, and how about he's fighting Colby Covington in Brazil? Enjoy that, Colby.
Good luck, Colby.
Good God. Security, please, security.
Super hard to take down. Real hard to take down. And brutal leg kicks. And I don't know
he's a black belt on the ground too.
Yeah, what 90-minute butt video he's been doing every day, but his legs are gigantic.
Rumpy rump. That Brazilian shitter on him is just, I don't know what front squats.
Dude, I don't know what kind of crazy shit he's doing. I know he did some training in the past a lot with Nick Curson out of Speed of Sport. Nick helped him quite a bit. Nick's, the Marv Marinovich disciple.
Yeah.
And he does all that crazy shit that Marv had BJ doing. He's got there's a ton of videos online of Dos Anjos.
Is he working with Perillo?
Jason Perillo?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he?
Is Dos Anjos and Perillo?
I think he is.
Is he?
I remember seeing him at the Ruka gym.
Is Perillo the greatest coach of all? Like, he's like, you're having problems with your career? Come here.
Very
just
very
Bisping,
good.
Cyborg. I mean, just these monsters.
And you know what? Good dude.
Great guy.
And doesn't want the spotlight.
Zero. He doesn't want to be out on camera.
Yeah.
Doesn't want anything to do with it.
And when I was telling him, I think he's doing a great job. Dude shakes your hand, looks you in the eye. Like, he's right there. He's right there. Thank you. He's like right there.
And he won't work with just anyone
guy.
either, which is what I like.
I like what he did with Bisping. He helped Bisping a lot.
Yeah, Bisping became world champion.
Yeah. I mean, he's a fucking great coach.
Back to Khabib. You know who I think, and I'm not just saying this because he's my boy, I've known him forever, but you know who I think could be his Achilles heel, who matches up better with him than anyone?
Who?
Everyone's overlooking? Brian Ortega.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Brian Ortega is a big dude at 55, easy weight cut for him,
And
but
he can
on the
grapple his
ground, he's the most dangerous guy in the world right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the way he locks up submissions is very different. It's like if everybody else is hitting it at a 7 or an 8, Ortega's hitting it at 10, where you watch and you go, oh, that's different.
And you haven't seen it. So for
Yeah.
Khabib, who how long he's grappled freaking grizzly bears since he was 4.
Yeah.
He's seen sambo, he's
Yeah.
seen black belt jiu-jitsu, he's seen all this stuff. You're not going to catch him.
Yeah.
With Ortega, it's a little different, and he actually encourages you to go to the ground.
Yeah.
And he's dangerous on his feet, but on the ground's where he thrives.
Isn't it funny how that thing about going to the ground, what is it? Brian says, Ortega wrote, for the record, Dana called me yesterday to see if I'd step in against Khabib since Max hadn't responded yet. I said yes. Eventually, Max replied, and Dana gave him the fight. If all goes according to plan, I'll get my turn at both of them. Ooh.
It's a phenomenal fight for
Brian
Brian
Ortega.
Just stylistically, I went, And if I'm Khabib goes, why would I fight Ortega? He's a phenomenal fighter, but he didn't have a belt, didn't have a big
Right.
name. Why would?
Right.
And it's the most dangerous fight for him, I think.
And it's also, I mean, Ortega became a much bigger star with the Frankie Edgar knockout, much bigger star. But
There's a ways to go.
Yeah, Max Holloway is one of the
Legit.
best fighters on the planet. That's a really interesting fight. Ortega's got, there's something about his jiu-jitsu, man. It's like it's just ramped up and sharpened down to like just a razor's edge, man. When he grabs a hold of stuff, you have very little room to get out. You know?
Yeah, and he sets it up from the clinch, and it's very unconventional in the head snaps, especially like Tony Ferguson with the Darce chokes where he snap
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
However, what I wanted to see in this Ferguson-Khabib fight with the snap city is like Josh Thomson, Fitch are like, oh no, we've never seen Khabib get his neck snapped down ever. For him, it's a pride thing. Growing up where he grew up, no one snaps his neck down. No one's snapping him down. It doesn't work. I'm all.
That's so crazy.
Well, that's Tony's thing. They go, watch. No one's ever snapping his neck down, ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Fitch is like, I've never seen him lose a round. I'm like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
These goddamn legends.
I
These
know.
people like this.
And I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm drinking it too.
I'm so into this Kool-Aid. Wear that hat Saturday night, sir.
Yeah. Damn. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by this fight. I'm always fascinated when Khabib fights because you're always wondering, like, what's the first guy that's going to be able to give him something different?
See, I look at it different. I look at it like, all right, I hear all this crazy talk about Khabib. Let's see it. Like, I want to see. I want to see that pound for pound greatness out of him. Let me get it.
Well, don't you think you saw it in the Barboza fight?
No, I think Barboza's one dimensional. I think we did see, and I think people are taking for granted how good Khabib of a grappler is because you talk to Frankie, you talk to Eddie Alvarez. I go, how hard is it to take down Barboza? They go, oh, it's damn near impossible in training. Like, we don't get them down very easily, and they're badasses.
Right.
So you go, what Khabib did, we didn't think he was going to be able to do. And if you look at that third round when Barboza's like, he gets taken down, and he's like kind of cage crawling, you look at his face, he looks like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, there's sheer panic.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between Khabib and the rest of these fighters. That's why it's the worst to fight him on short notice, because it's not going to be fast. You know, it's not going to be fun for you.
It's a smashing. Yeah, I feel like we've seen the pound for pound greatness in him, like the potential for it, but we need to see him against pound for pound greats.
Well, that's how you get there.
And that's
you have to
what's
show
so interesting
up,
about
like
Saturday.
Conor Aldo, right? That
right.
quick knockout, or DC Gustafsson, Jon Jones DC. Like, there's certain times in your career where you have these signature wins. He doesn't have a signature win.
Right. Well, I think the Barboza is as close as you can get, but Barboza's lost to a few guys. He lost to Tony, he got Darce choked, and
Bust Cowboy.
Yep.
But he's also he's one dimensional.
Yeah,
he's not phenomenal on the ground.
Right.
He's a good anti-wrestler. His striking's phenomenal, but overall package.
Yeah, and that is the difference, right? Is the really good guys always threaten takedowns, always threaten submissions. He just doesn't do that. He stands up.
He's phenomenal at it. He's a specialist stand-up, but
I mean, stand-up is wicked. He's got some of the best stand-up in the world, for sure, in MMA. I mean, Barboza's so fast, too. Such a
Wonder Boy, Barboza, they're right up there. Darren Till.
Yeah. Darren Till and Wonder Boy is going to be a motherfucker.
How about Wonder Boy? I saw a quote coming in here where he goes,
Who's
I'm
Darren
not
Till?
that impressed with Darren Till. Who is he? I'm like, did you learn nothing from the Cowboy fight? Even I learned from that. I was like, man, why would Cowboy take this? I don't really know who Darren Till is. And then my inbox just flooded with shit. And even Darren Till went off on me. And I look him up like, oh my God, this guy's a monster.
He's an animal. Doesn't he have a gorilla tattoo or something?
Does he?
He's got gorillas all over his, like, uses it in his screen name and Twitter.
Well, he's a gorilla.
He's a gorilla.
He's a Liverpool gorilla.
He's a bad motherfucker.
And for Wonder Boy, who's rehabbing his thumbs, and it's just like, all right, if you want this. And then what happens if let's say Wonder Boy were to win, which I don't think he is, unfortunately. Let's say
Really?
I don't.
You think
I'm on the
Till's
Till.
going to get him?
I think there's this
Are
kind
you
of
a Darren Till dick rider?
a little bit right now.
Little
I'm hard dick riding on Khabib, Till. There's a few guys. DC always, Connor always. Brian Ortega.
I dick ride Mighty Mouse for sure.
Yeah, you do dick ride that guy.
I think he's the
You've
best.
been that way forever.
I think he's the best.
I mean, that's fair.
He needs a guy to challenge him.
Isn't he fighting Cejudo again? Who I love Cejudo, but it's like,
That shit's
do you guys
ridiculous.
hate fucking money?
That shit's ridiculous. I mean, Cejudo's a beast, no doubt about it, and I love what Cejudo did against Wilson Hayes. I was like, holy shit, this is like a different Cejudo. He looks like a karate champion.
Yeah, I get all that. Did you see what Mighty Mouse did?
Yeah, he went right through him.
Oh, you're a black belt? Cool.
Good.
Huge
Get you in an
armbar.
Yeah, and what he did to Cejudo.
Yeah.
Oh, you like to clinch? Check these out.
Olympics? That's very cool. Check
Yeah.
this knee out, sir.
Knees to the body is fat. I grabbed him once, just joking around, playing. He hit me in the body with a knee so fast, it was
Mighty Mouse?
confusing. It was confusing.
Where'd that come from?
Like I go, I gotcha. He turns around.
Poosh.
I'm like, hey,
Hey, man.
that's not supposed to go that quick. Like they're supposed to be. I see you move. I get to think
No,
this
man.
might come my way. Here it is. No, it was already there
Different
before
animal.
I realized he was doing it. He's so fucking fast,
Why? And do we know why the TJ fight's not going down?
dude. I don't know, but that one bums me out. That
There's a
one
few
bums
fights
me
that
out.
bum me out.
That's a fucking gigantic super fight. Like, why wouldn't he take that fight? Well, first of all, Mighty Mouse right now is rehabbing a shoulder surgery. So it's going to be a while. He was doing those, you know that bow thing they do, that flexi thing?
Yeah.
He was doing some of those exercises the other day on Instagram. I'm looking at him like, okay, that's a guy that's got, like, he's got some scar tissue to work out. Like, that's not healed up.
Did he get surgery or no?
Yeah, he got surgery.
So he's out for a little bit. And TJ probably doesn't want to wait.
I don't know if that's what the case is. I don't know what the case is. You know, I mean, shoulder surgery 6 months. I mean, so you wait 3 months, then you have a 3-month camp. You know? I mean,
But they wouldn't announce it yet, right?
No, I mean, I don't even know. You can't even say that because once
TJ
you start
hasn't
going
fought in a
hard,
while.
you might not be able to go. Matt Hume and Mighty Mouse are about as smart as it gets when it comes to preparation.
Correct.
So there's no way they would take that fight if his shoulder wasn't 100% or any fight.
And risk his legacy? Because he loses
Yeah.
that fight. Everyone's like, told ya.
And they wouldn't go hard early to test it.
No,
They
hell
would-
no.
They would let it.
Well, look at Woodley's been out a little bit because of his shoulder.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
got
shoulders
shoulder
are tricky.
surgery. Yeah, he was in here like right after he got it. He said he's going to heal up quick.
Yeah.
And he might.
PRP, all that.
Yeah, he's going to do all the PRP, there's as much, different therapies, cryo, I'm sure.
It still takes a while, even with all our advancements.
Stem
It's definitely
cells.
faster.
Yeah.
But now he's forced to fight. And I see what the UFC is doing where they do an interim belt between Colby and Dos Anjos where it's an interim belt. So now, Woodley, you literally have to fight the winner of this.
Yeah.
You have to fight him.
It's a very sneaky move.
They have a belt. What are you going to do? You want a super fight? Nope, this guy's a belt. I get both
Not only
sides
that,
here.
If it's Dos Anjos, if Dos Anjos beats Colby, Dos Anjos lightweight champion, now welterweight champion.
That's
it
a
makes
great
big
fight.
deal.
That's a great
You
fight.
could have Dos Anjos sitting there with 2 belts on his shoulders. I mean,
And then what do you do with Darren Till? Let's say he, for whatever reason, walks through Wonder Boy, which is, tough to do. But to say he walks through him, which Woodley, struggled a little bit, walks through him, and Wonder Boy's the number 1 guy. Now Darren Till jumps up to number 1, or is Dos
does
Anjos
that work that way? Because the ratings are fucking screwy, man.
Oh, they're
sometimes I see a guy who beat a guy, and then that guy who he beat is still ranked ahead of him.
They're a nightmare. All the ratings do now, it almost hurts if you're a guy like Sean Shelby or Dana trying to make these matchups. Because guy who's at 4th, they hey, we want you to fight 7. He's like, no, he's 7. I have nothing to gain from that. Where before it was like, hey, we want you to fight this guy. He's a name. He's on a 7-fight win streak. We don't know what
Right.
ranking he is, but we know he's damn good.
Right.
So guys were more willing to take it. Now nope, he's 7. What
I want number 1.
Exactly.
Right.
I need 3, 4.
Yeah, that's weird.
It hurts us.
Well, it's also weird. Like the UFC they just decide who's fighting. I mean, it's the whole thing. The business is so interesting because it's like they decide who's fighting. They decide who's champion. They decide, Tony, you're not champion anymore. We're going to strip you. It's like I
How
fell
is
I fell.
I
don't want this to happen.
He was at the Fox Studios.
Yeah, he was doing.
I twist my knee.
But he was working for the UFC when he fell. I mean, he's doing his obligations, his press obligations.
It's very strange to strip him of a belt when he never lost it, and he has the longest winning streak. And
I mean.
But also,
fell.
Khabib has no belt. There's no belt. Khabib was going to take the belt.
They're going to make up a belt.
And then Conor has the belt at 55.
Right.
So what do you do with that belt?
Well, what they were planning on doing, I believe, and now they've kind of let the cat out of the bag because they said it's going to be for the world lightweight title. They were going to strip Conor the moment something happened, like the moment the fight started. That's when they were going to strip Conor.
They're going to announce that?
Yeah, because if they'd stripped him beforehand, then what happens if Tony doesn't make weight or something? Tony makes weight all the time.
Then you have no belt.
What if Khabib doesn't make weight? Then what the fuck do you have?
Legit concern.
Then you have nothing.
That
so
makes
you already
sense.
stripped him? Are you going to give it back to him? You're going to give it back to him?
Very
No.
confusing.
So what if he wants to fight again? Now he's not the champ anymore? The fuck kind of shit is this?
It's strange.
So they waited. And the idea was to wait. But now they're in a desperado situation. They
Straight
lose.
desperado.
Six days.
Still a belt on the line.
Not only that, fucking April Fools. April Fool's Day it happens. I didn't believe a goddamn word of it. Jimmy Smith starts texting me. I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm not falling for it. Jamie texted me. I'm like, I'm not falling for it. You texted me?
You go, bro, it's April Fool's. I'm like, I know. But Dana released a video, and listen, I'm sure he likes a good April Fool's joke, but what he likes more is money and pay-per-view buys. You can't honey dick the fans and be like, psych, it's back on. Because
Right.
people are going to be pissed
They
and
would
not
be
buy
pissed.
it.
That's a good point. I didn't buy it. I still was like, maybe it's just an elaborate PR scam. I didn't even tweet about it until the next day.
I know.
I was tweeting about other shit. People were like, what the fuck, bro? This is going down. You're not even tweeting about it. I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
I checked with you, and then I checked with Josh Thompson, who works closely with Khabib. And then, so boom, there's my two main guys. And I went, all right, Ariel. I saw Ariel tweet. I'm like, God, he's a journalist. I'm an ass clown. He's a legit journalist.
Right.
Like he has the credibility. So I went, bro, is this real? And he goes, I would never joke around like that, Brendan. I'm like, he's right.
Well, I went straight to his jiu-jitsu coach. I called Eddie, talked to him on the phone.
Your good friend.
Yeah. So, and Eddie gave me the full rundown of what happened with Tony. It's like he saw somebody and he turned to say hi to somebody, didn't see some wires on the ground, tripped over some wires, and just blew his shit out. And Eddie was on the podcast yesterday, and Eddie was saying that Tony wanted to fight, or day before yesterday, Tony wanted to fight. They wouldn't let him fight.
Yeah.
His ligament is torn
LCL,
from
right?
the bone.
Which is rare, which is hard to do.
Where is that one? Lateral, whatever.
Collateral ligament, some shit. Anyways, but do you think it would if it went tripping off that, is that a freak accident, or do you think it would have went during the fight? It's hard to say.
Oh, I bet it was a
freak accident, right?
Yeah,
especially at LCL.
Accident. Yeah, I mean the way they said it. But first of all, what Dana said was very savage.
What did he say?
Dana said he wears those sunglasses indoors. That should happen to everybody that wears sunglasses indoors.
That's the Larry David quote. Have you heard the Larry David quote?
What?
He goes, there's only two type of people that wear sunglasses indoors: blind people and assholes. It's true, man.
It's so true. It's so true.
Don't wear those
Such
indoors.
a weird thing, man. Especially at night. Like, what are you doing?
It's so hard to see.
What is this? What are you doing?
I've seen a guy in a club when I used to go to clubs. He'd have his glasses on, and then people walk by, he'd lift them up to look around, then put them back down because you can't see shit.
The biggest tools wear glasses to fights. They wear sunglasses and they sit there with their fucking sunglasses on. Like especially celebrities that do that. It's like, come on.
Celebrities do that. It's like get a grip. However,
Well, it's weird. I mean, that's like when you know you fucked up. You got too famous. You have to wear sunglasses at a fight. You sit in the front row with sunglasses.
And your
on.
boy's just like, nah, I like it, man. Yeah, wear those indoors. That makes complete sense. Same if you wear like a peacock coat and your boy's like, that's all good.
I'm gonna start doing podcasts like this.
Dude, that stresses me out.
From now on.
That stresses me out.
Sam Tripoli did a podcast like this.
Did you
He
say
came
something?
in. What?
Did you say something to him?
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? And I put mine on. And we've done it before with sunglasses with NASA outfits.
That's
Me and
hilarious.
Red Band did that.
Dalia did the Fire and the Kid with sunglasses on. I go, bro, you got to take the sunglasses off. He goes, my future's too bright. My future's too bright. And I went, oh, fuck, mine too. And I put my glasses on. And then Callan goes, shit, I don't have my sunglasses.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, sunglasses.
That's a hilarious quote by Dana, though.
Yeah,
hilarious,
and especially considering how much money he's losing on this fight.
Can you imagine? Getting a call that close, being like, "What?
What keeps happening? It keeps happening. It keeps happening.
Does it?
It's happened
To
a
this
bunch
magnitude?
of times. It's happened a bunch of times.
This one, the MMA gods are like, you morons. I'm trying to do you a favor here.
What was the most recent one where that happened? Where Cyborg stepped in last minute?
This close?
Yeah, so the last one. Cyborg stepped in. Who? Oh, that was Max Holloway. Breaks
Max
his
Holloway
foot.
and
Wasn't
Frank
this close.
Yeager.
But then there was the Ferguson one with Khabib where Khabib's liver shut down. They had to take him to the fucking hospital.
That was a bummer.
That was a bummer. This has happened a ton of times.
Was the worst one Jon Jones? The UFC 200?
Oh,
DC? Remember literally the day before?
That was
You're
pretty
like,
bad.
what? But I wonder if that's better for the UFC. Shitty business either way. But is it better for the UFC because we've already seen the hype, we're already bought in.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, like, what the where's John? Like, oh
Right.
yeah, you didn't hear that? Like, does that help them more or does this, where you at least can promote a little bit with Max Holloway?
You could promote a little bit with Max Holloway, and it's an interesting fight. It's a very interesting fight. Yeah, there's a lot of those, man, that happen. That you're like, what? Which one was the Jon Jones DC one?
UFC 200.
And what was the thing that John did? Which one was that?
Remember that?
Was that the Coke one?
Yeah, I think that was the Coke one.
No,
Where
the Coke was he got
no,
away with
this
the
was
Coke
dick
one.
pills.
Oh, dick
remember?
pills.
He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we got to strip. We got to pull him from the card." And then DC fought Anderson Silva
That's right.
on like 2 day
That's right.
notice.
Anderson.
And then DC didn't win any fans that because he just kind of.
Yeah, he just.
It's a weird
wrestled him.
fight. He just wrestled him and it was whatever.
Well,
Still
Anderson
won though.
front kicked him in the gut too, and I think he hurt him.
Yeah, it was messed up. That was awkward.
Yeah,
But it happens in sports. This is what I think makes fighting so great. So great. Max has an opportunity that no one else in the world in sports can have. And then look at Canelo Triple G. It's in combat sports. This is what we deal with.
Yeah.
Canelo. That's the biggest fight of the year. Biggest fight everyone wants to see. The rematch of the year, and then tainted meat.
Do you buy the tainted meat?
Absolutely not, sir. I've had many tacos in Mexico, and I'm not swole.
Yeah, but you're not getting tested for trace amounts of clenbuterol.
You don't know. Maybe I have to go and snitch, come to my house just for the fucks of it.
Just to dribble.
Maybe I'm still in the testing protocol.
Interesting.
No, maybe. I don't know, but I'd see some sort of change. But even Triple G's camp goes, last fight he was on it. What else is new?
Now, why do you think they said that?
I don't know. I'm sure Gennadi's been in there with over 500 people now, 400 people, and he just said in his experience he can tell who's on PEDs and who's not, and he thought Canelo was.
Do you buy that? Okay,
I do, because as a fighter, there's guys I fought who I assumed were.
Okay, but what about Woodley? A guy like Woodley has tremendous genetics.
He's always been like that, though.
right. Always been like that, but so is Canelo, no?
You look at it, he's gotten pretty swole. Now, he's getting older, though, so it could be that, too. He's just, as you get older, you put on more size.
Well, the big one was Manny. Manny was the one that everybody was always accusing. And Manny was the first. I mean, Manny went up 8 weight classes.
Yeah.
And kept his knockout power.
He's fighting as a little boy and then just was like...
Crazy. I mean, and kept the knockout power.
True.
And most people thought that Manny was on PEDs.
Correct.
And then they thought that Manny got off PEDs when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez and he got starched.
But there's a two-sided story there. He got off PEDs and he also found Jesus Christ. So he stopped going to strip clubs, he stopped hanging out with girls, but he stopped having fun. And then got serious about Jesus and got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Then he saw Jesus in that fight.
Jesus was like, listen, if you want to be a savage, you got to live like a savage.
Jesus is like, I'm not even advising this, man. Just fucking do your thing.
Keep taking steroids.
Yeah, take them steroids.
Jesus is like, listen, I made steroids. Okay?
Yeah, I came up with
Steroids came from God.
That wheatgrass ain't going to help you, son.
Yeah. Listen, that's good for you, but you need steroids
It's good, but you're going to need this too.
Depends on what you are. I mean, if you want to be a 147-pound knockout artist.
I mean, but Marquez is no stranger to the Mexican supplements.
No.
Either.
No. Well, they had the same strength and conditioning coach when Manny found Jesus. His old strength and conditioning coach went to the dark side. Juan Manuel Marquez. He was always on the dark side.
Stayed on the dark side.
That dude was always on the dark side.
Yeah.
According
what was his
people
name?
I know.
Alex Ariza.
Ariza.
Yes, good call, brother.
Yeah, he knows his shit, man. He knows his shit, and I don't know whether or not he got anybody on PEDs or they're just blaming him. But he knows his shit. As a strength and conditioning coach, that guy's very, very good.
Yeah, I would have worked with him if I was fighting.
I saw the stuff that he was doing with Juan Manuel Marquez. I was like, he's super legit. And he brings those guys up to like modern levels of performance.
Correct. Not the old school shit.
Yeah. And some of the old school shit to this day, I think chopping wood, that's all legit, man. Sledgehammers on tires.
I think it's good to add. I agree. I think it's good to add in. I think deadlifts, all that stuff. But I think you mix that with the new wave of technology, and now you got something.
Well, like what I was saying about Nick Curson and that Marv Marinovich method, it's plyos, man. Everything's like box jumps and
movement.
Yeah, left, right, left, right, left, right. You know, Curson said something very interesting to me when I said, like, what do you think fighters are missing most, like strength condition wise? He said foot strength.
That makes sense.
It totally makes sense.
You know who's been on that ball since I've known him is Lauren Landau, who I worked with in Denver. And now he just got the gig as he's the head conditioning coach of the Denver Broncos.
Whoa!
But he was making us work out barefoot forever, even as football players.
Steve Maxwell was always on that too.
Yeah.
All his kettlebell workouts.
There's some of those guys who it's like, oh, this is all new. And then you talk to like a Lauren or that Maxwell guy, like, we've been doing this for like 20 years. So you guys are just now finding out about it.
Well, so many people, you know, you see so many people working out with like high, thick-ass running shoes that are all spongy on the bottom.
Yeah, I'd be one of them.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But you're not training for a fight right now.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
But if you were, you would try to optimize everything, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I used to wear those five-finger. I'd wear those to run. I'd wear those on the track. I'd wear those during most of my stuff.
So now you just wear regular running shoes for comfort?
Regular running shoes, and then I had a knee problem because I was putting so many miles on it. Now I'm on a bike. I got one of those Pelotons. So
yeah, those are dope.
It's been good.
Those it's good because you could play along and go along with a class.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know if it's the answer to do every day, but I need to mix it up, man. I'm just bored as fuck with working out. So
that Echo bike.
Those are dope. I want to get one of those in the crib.
That Echo bike's a
But
monster.
I like waking up because my Mondays and Tuesdays are a nightmare. I have to be on set at 7 a.m., so I'm waking up at like 5, just doing that Peloton for an hour, then I'm off.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, where before I'd have to try and go to the gym, or I was missing my workouts. It drives me nuts.
Dude,
I like to start the day with a sweat, and then I get going.
You know what kick I'm on? The Versa Climber.
Those are a nightmare.
I went to the gym the other day and I did a 150-meter sprint at the end of the workout. The trainer had me do a 150-meter sprint on the Versa Climber.
Did you feel like passing out?
Holy shit, it's hard. Holy shit. When you get off, man, like you're barely
You've
alive.
done them before, yeah?
Yeah, but I haven't been doing it. No, I'm getting one in here now.
It might be the toughest thing as far as cardio-wise. Again, Lauren Landau used to have us do, even as football players, all the time. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Yeah. This is awful. It was by far, he'd have these circuits, and it'd always end on that. I remember everyone, if he's like, here's your circuit, and you end on Versa, some of the best athletes in the world just like, oh my God, man, what are we doing?
Yeah, well, that's what they do at this gym that I've been working at. He lets you do a circuit. At the end of the circuit, you get on that Versa Climber and you sprint. And it's, how much time to get to 150 meters.
I've been doing rows with my trainer.
Oh, yeah, I do that too.
I do row. We do the 1,000-meter row. And I'm like, what's a good time? So we looked up the top times. I'm like, I think I'm top 300 in the world right now. A bit, I got to do some work.
Really?
There's a big difference between top 300 and then the top 100.
Yeah, but dude, you're top 300 in the world with a row?
With a row, yeah, look it up.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
It's all right. I mean, it's a row machine.
I'm top 85 million.
I mean, no, hold up. You're the hold on. Let's just that was the humble brag, but let's just be serious here. You're the hardest kicker ever on that goddamn UFC machine. Well, I call it the Francis machine.
Well, there's a video of me doing 152. Like right now, you only see the one with me kicking it with my jeans on, and that got to 135.
Were they stretchy jeans?
Yeah, the barbell
PEDs,
jeans.
Basically PEDs.
PEDs. Yeah, it's like sweatpants, man.
Yeah.
Some dude burned me from the audience. And he goes, hey, man, how long did it take you to paint on those jeans? And I went, oh, my goodness, sir. You just scorched me.
No, Theo Von did me dirty. He goes, bro, we're clowning each other. I said, you look like an extra from the Waterboy set. And he goes, the fuck? I'm like, he goes, bro, you look like you work at the Nordstrom's rack and you're a mechanic. I was like, the fuck?
What is that even
What are you talking about?
That's
He's so
Theo
crazy.
Von thing. These fucking pants, man. These pants are the shit. These are different. These right now I have on, they're similar. They're called Mott and Bow. Is another
those
company.
are good company. Yeah. Those are like legit jeans.
Yeah, they're like more feel like jeans, where the barbell jeans are like, they look like jeans till you touch them. They go, hey, what's going on here?
Like sweat.
Got sweatpants on, son.
No, that's in a good company. That's like a legit company.
This will bind you up a little bit more if you were trying to kick somebody. A little bit more.
So what did you do the record-setting kick
with
in?
barbell jeans? This is I did the record one. This is the record one.
I see you with that Dos Anjos rump.
Yeah,
I see you, son.
That's on my hill running, man. My ass is way bigger. A lot of people have been complimenting me on it.
Nothing wrong with a nice ass.
I don't like that fat belly, though. I'm so fat right now.
You are not fat.
For me, 152.
And what's the hardest?
No, I'm definitely fatter than I usually am. I've been cheating on my diet way too much.
I hear you, man.
Cheating way too much. Well, it's also, there's certain things I can't do in the gym right now, and I got this, man. This dildo that I got here.
Yeah, what are you doing with that, bro?
This is for, I have golfer's elbow. I have this tendonitis.
I've had that for a while, yeah.
Fuck, dude. I've never had tendonitis before. Have you ever had it?
Yeah, not fun.
It takes forever.
Forever.
Like way more than a muscle.
You get shots in there?
I got PRP, I got Regenikine, I got stem cells. I had a bunch of shots. This dildo I'm holding, this helped me more than any of them.
It's good size
in
dick,
2
son.
weeks. In 2 weeks, this thing has helped me.
That dry needling you did seemed like it should have fixed everything.
What did?
The dry needling?
Oh, complete waste
you saw
of
me
time.
do that too.
Yeah.
I had dry needling where they used electricity too, and they zapped it and made
I've
your
done
hands
that.
pulse.
It did nothing for me.
Didn't help. This helped. This is cheap. You buy it on Amazon. It's called the TheraBand.
And what do you do with it?
And my friend Brian told me about this.
Callan?
No. Brian from, I'll give you his last name.
Sorry.
He's Vinny Shorman's buddy from Fontana, California. I think, what is his thing? Double Deuce Muay Thai? Is that his place? Here, hold on a second.
That's a great shirt, by the way, Jamie.
Brian Dobler. And Brian is a great Muay Thai coach himself.
So what do you do with this goddamn
He
thing?
had an issue, and he told me this is the thing that fixed him. You take it, you hold it out like this, right in front of you, right? Then you twist. This is the arm that's injured, the bottom arm. So you hold out, you twist it with the other one, and then you hold it straight, and then you let it untwist with this arm slowly. And I've been doing this shit all the time. I do it in my car. I take it with me at home. But I'm twisting the shit out of it and then slowly untwisting it with my right side.
And it's helping?
Oh, dude, it makes a big impact. It makes a big impact because it's strengthening it. It's strengthening this little particular area, but
So
it's
you're
also
like
getting
this.
a ton of blood. You hold it like that, like palm out, and then twist it, right? And now straighten it out. Now unwind it with this hand, with the injured hand. There you go. Just like that. Yeah. And you just do that slow. And I'll do that for 5-10 minutes at a time, and then I'll leave it alone.
Game
and come
changer,
back.
huh?
Game changer.
Feeling
all
better?
that dude, a lot better. I mean, obviously, I've had a lot of other shit done to it. Like the Regenikine was like
Might help.
like a month or so ago. I'm sure it helped.
But that's good.
But this, once I started doing it, almost immediately within a few days, started feeling better.
Basic, son.
Yeah. But I can't, there's a lot of shit I can't do. Like I can't do chin-ups right now. I haven't been able to do chin-ups. I could do rows, but I can't go heavier than like 50 pounds. Like everything has to be all about preserving this little ligament.
And your trainer knows that?
Yeah.
It's a new trainer?
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they're good trainers,
Yeah.
they usually know how to adapt with
But
it.
even here, like when I'm training here,
Yeah, you can't do
Only
anything.
so much shit I can do.
But
I
you
can't
can't
do
throw
anything on the
hooks either.
rings. No.
No hooks.
I can throw straight punches.
Yep, but no
straight
hooks.
No hooks.
Uppercuts.
But it's getting much better just in 2 weeks of using this fucking thing.
Do you ever think about resting it? Maybe just not doing anything, sir.
That's how I got fat.
Well, you can still get up. You're crazy. You're crazy, dude. For me to stick on a diet, so I have to have a meal specialist like deliver my meals. I'm that guy right now.
I'm usually really good at it, but one thing this has done is ramped up my hill running. So I've been doing
Which
more
is
hill
good.
running. Oh yeah.
Are you the
that's
type
where
of dude though?
I
Well,
get my
I always see
badonka
late
on.
night. You're always posting. Yeah, you got that fat ass. I always see when pH fat. I see when at night when you come home from the comedy store, you're always posting like protein and veggies.
Yeah.
Are you really eating that, or are you like there's that, and then you have McDonald's on the side?
No, I'm not
You know what I'm
doing
saying?
McDonald's. If I cheat, it's pasta.
Dude, that was me
I
last
ate
night.
a whole pizza the other day.
Fucking giving up. Where from?
It was at a restaurant. I went with the missus, and we ordered some other stuff. And I said, let's just get a pizza too.
Right, that's how it starts.
She's like, I'm not really into this. I'm like, good, bro.
That's me, man.
I wolfed the whole pizza down. Ate that whole fucking.
And I'm so disappointed in myself. I have these meals, man. I've been strict on it. When I'm on the road, it's fucking tough. Or if I'm not getting any sleep, my body craves sugar and carbs.
Yep.
But I'm
always
screwed.
Same
and I'm
thing.
like, all right, just one. And then one, I just can't stop myself.
It's hard.
And then last night, I made my son this pasta, and of course I have to try it. I gotta make sure it's not poison. And I tried. I'm like, that's fucking way better than my meal I'm about to eat. So I just fired up some tortellinis.
It's hard. It's also hard when you work hard because I do a lot of things. I'm always busy. And it's like sometimes I just want to go off with food. Like that's my indulgence.
That's the one thing where I can get loose on, man.
But most of the time, I'm very strict. Most of the time. But it's been hard with this injury. It's just because I thought it was going to be healed by now. So it's been frustrating the shit out of me. There's certain things I want to do. Like I was on this heavy chin-up kick and heavy cleans and presses kick. And that's probably where I wound up doing this because I felt some twinges, and instead of just working on it and like letting it heal up, I pushed through it for months.
That's the athlete in you.
That's the idiot in me. For months I pushed through it.
But that's how it works when you're an athlete. I'm sure when you're doing taekwondo or jiu-jitsu, you get hurt. It's not like, oh, let me take months off to make this better.
There's none of that. Yeah. And that's something that Eddie said about Tony, is that like Tony, when he gets hurt, he's like, whatever, I'm hurt. Just works around it. Whatever it is, he doesn't stop working out. Ever. Yeah. But this is an eye-opener for me. This TheraBand thing is like, always keep searching. There's always, and the other thing I have is this other thing when I put my fingers in this rubber thing and I expand my fingers. Like it's very difficult to expand. You know, it's easy to contract. You're always doing that. But how much strength do you have this way? Very little. It's kind of shocking.
When do you ever do it?
Never. But this rubber thing is really good. And I think it was Jim Stopani, who's a bodybuilder guy online. He's got a bunch of supplements and shit. And he's also super, super smart, educated guy. And he was recommending that for people with tendonitis. But there's a lot of different things you could do with bands. And this one, this is the strongest one they have too.
You keep shaking like a dick. Do you
rubber dick?
Do you think if you would have went to physiotherapy, they would have shown you all this stuff before you injected yourself with all these needles and stuff? I feel like that a lot of that's physio.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No. You live, you learn. Yeah. Most of them were just saying ice it and rest. I was like, okay,
God damn it.
Okay.
Well, the rest, yes, but the rest they want. It's just not what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, it's also when your body is so used to going hard. And then you're not going hard. And then your body's like, okay, let's find some problems.
I know.
Let's get
and I
annoyed.
can't sit still. Yeah. And then it's like, well, now I'm lazy, and then it affects everything.
Yeah, you feel like a bitch.
I know.
But like I said, it's increased my badonkadonk.
Yeah, an ass on you.
Yeah, oh man, dude.
The missus likes it, or she wants you to tone it down?
She's happy with it.
No one likes a flat ass.
No one likes
even
flat
on a guy.
Yeah. No one.
That might be the worst thing if you have a flat ass.
You know when a girl wants a small dick than a
flat ass.
A girl wants a flat ass because she knows the guy's not going anywhere.
Correct.
Yeah, look at him when it's flat
Probably
ass.
drives
Where you going,
Maserati,
bitch?
flat ass, fucking shitty jeans,
loafers on,
Gucci loafers,
Gucci loafers, no
probably
socks,
haircut
flat
like me.
ass.
Yeah.
Gets tired walking upstairs. Could you imagine if all of a sudden you had someone's flat ass?
God.
And then you had to walk around, and you had to realize, oh my God, it's so hard to walk up hills.
How
do you get around? How do you get around flat ass?
Fuck carrying up the grocery bags up the stairs. That's out. How about would you? But I've seen it where it might be one of the easiest muscles to build. Like there's some girls with flat asses. Then you see them on Instagram. These Instagram models who do like deadlifts or something, and then just over time, boom, that ass just grows like a tomato.
If they really are motivated, you can get your ass to grow.
Little Winnie, little
of that, right? Yeah,
for sure.
There's a lot of that going on with girls, man.
There is.
Winstraw is what we're talking about, folks. If you don't know what Winnie is.
Yeah, I wasn't referring to Winnie the Pooh. I'm talking about Winstraw.
Steroids.
Son. Yeah.
A lot of those fitness girls are doing steroids.
Yes.
They just do a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It changes them a little bit. The jaw, you look at the shoulders.
They get manly.
Anytime Callan sees a ripped girl, he goes, steroids. Literally every time. Steroids.
A lot of them.
Like, goddamn, bro.
They keep that shit, though. They keep it. That's what's weird. They keep the manly parts. Like they don't just keep the muscles. When they get off the shit, their face is still hard.
Yeah, they're structured. Like their face structure is a little different.
There's a lady who lives in my neighborhood. She used to be a big old Miss Olympia. And I see her walking around, and it's weird. She looks like a man, not just in her face, but in her the way she carries herself.
Everything, right?
So like, I mean, that sounds weird to say, but there's a certain masculine quality that the women that take massive amounts of steroids, they develop. They just develop. They look different. They're wider.
Yeah, they don't look like they're going to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? like this, I'm not attracted to that. I don't.
No.
Listen, to each his own.
Sweet and
If that's what,
cuddly.
no, there's no.
Yeah.
They're not going to be the best moms. Is what I'm saying here.
You know
they're
what's
not gonna
interesting
cook you
too?
dinner.
It's like it's not necessary. That's even bad. But if you want that, those career women will be mad at you. Like if you want a
I know.
If you want a soft, sweet, caring woman who likes to cuddle and is going to be a good mom and is just sweet to be around and kind.
Oh, you mean
and
the
friendly.
opposite of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of career women will get mad at you.
I know.
Like, oh, that's what you want? You want a woman that just can't take care of herself?
Oh, you don't want an equal?
Yeah.
No, bitch. I date Brian Callen. Like, I'm good. I'd toss a wig on Brian if I wanted that.
Well, that equal stuff is like, equal how? How so?
Oh, you just can't date your equal? Oh, you go date some cartoon? Like, all right.
Oh, okay, but they want to be a woman in some respect, right? They
Correct.
don't want to be an equal. They're not claiming they're like as strong as you or as funny as you or know as much about pussy. Like, where are you equal? You're not an equal. You're a woman. You're just an aggressive, successful, powerful woman. Like, but you're not a man. Like, if you were an equal, I'd be gay.
Correct.
We'd be two dudes like high fiving and butt fucking.
Yes, and
which is
watching the
fine
game
too.
together. Yeah,
Which
if
is
that's your
fine
thing,
too. That's
that's cool.
But like this whole want an equal, like
dude.
why are we playing math games?
Yeah, why can't we just be chill?
Can't we just like each other?
Yeah.
Why do we have to be equal?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. It's weird.
It's women
and I
that
run
wanna
from
succeed.
it. I run from it.
It's a success
Who
women.
was it who said there can only be one headshot in the household? Have you ever heard that?
That's good though.
You can only have one headshot in the household.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out if you both want to be famous.
You know what George Harrison once said? He said, all I need from a woman is to be attracted to her. Everything else I get from a man.
That's a great
like,
quote.
wow.
We're going to get shit for that. Well, we didn't say that. But
I didn't say it.
No.
I would never say that.
I would not either. I would agree with it.
I need
go,
a woman
that's
to be
cool.
my equal.
I need an equal. By
I need
equal, pay the rent, bitch.
And I need someone who calls me on my shit and yells at me all the time and throws things at me.
And even makes fun of me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those
That's
are the
what I
best.
want. That's
yeah,
exactly what.
Just demean
And then
you.
comes home with a six-pack and rips a huge fart.
Look at this. Female bodybuilder Candace Armstrong's steroid habit made her grow a penis and facial hair. Whoa, she's a dude.
Well,
Are you sure that's real?
She's on that Gold's Gym diet.
Wow. Let's see the dick. Come on. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. See, she turned into a man.
Oh, wow. That's a heavy whitehead on
That's
her.
a giant whitehead.
It's a
because
whitehead on her bicep.
They must have put makeup on her, too. How are they letting that whitehead go? That's staff.
Yeah, why wouldn't they cover that up?
Dude, she's so jacked. Look at her hands. Oh, my God. Look at her arms.
Dude, she's jacked.
Look at her
city.
face. That's a dude. That's a dude. Come on. Is this a joke?
I don't know. It might be.
This might be a joke.
Looks like Chris Angel.
She doesn't even look
But
like
jacked.
Yeah, but the size of her hands looks proportionate too. Like she doesn't look like a girl that took
There's
steroids. She
nothing
looks like a
feminine about
guy.
that woman.
Look at her back. Holy shit! Look at those back pics.
I think that's the same person.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you
It's
sure?
different.
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Google
that's
image search.
Photoshop.
Damn! Look at that.
That's a dude with a nice set of hair.
Well, some girls can be jacked and muscular, but still look like a woman. Like Felice Herrig. Do you see Felice Herrig's? She's fighting this weekend.
Bodied
Ooh,
up.
she's bodied up. But you see the picture of her doing double biceps from the back?
No.
There's some pictures she did at the UFC press thing. You're like, jacked!
Attractive young lady.
Jacked!
There's a few who are jacked who are attractive.
She's jacked. But she's jacked like a woman. She's jacked like a woman who lifts weights.
Yeah, it doesn't look artificial.
No, this lady that we
That-
just saw, yeah, that's a good picture, but that's just her looking fit. There's a picture of her. Just Google like her image, double bicep or something like that.
No, she's
You can
a
see it
lady.
there.
She's an
Yeah, look at
attractive
there.
lady.
There you see it. Like
She
right there.
shreds city, son.
That's a shredded, fit woman. But that looks like a woman. Like look at her arms. It looks like a powerful woman's arm.
Who's in shape as balls.
Yeah, in shape as fuck. But that other lady, that didn't
I
look
shouldn't
like...
have said balls there. I didn't mean in shape
I
as
know what you
balls.
mean.
God
You mean a good
damn
thing.
it.
You meant a
Yeah.
good thing. I
Now
understand.
we get shit online.
She's a tank.
Fire Schaub. He said balls.
Yeah. We can't fire you for your own thing. If they fire you from Showtime, it'll be like they use the force against themselves. It'll
Yeah,
just
it'd be
make
a
you
bad
stronger.
idea. I do say a lot of crazy shit though.
You could do that show on your own. You could do anything like that. You could do on your own. You know? I think it's great that you're on Showtime.
Yeah,
I think it's a fun show too.
Yeah.
What I like about it is you're being you on that show.
Yes.
I see you on that show. I'm like, oh, they let him be himself. Like you say a bunch of silly shit.
Crazy
You're
shit.
laughing. There's a lot of cracking up.
Yeah. I have fun. They let me do my thing. The first one, it was like there's a lot of teleprompter, and I was like, God, that's really not my thing. Y'all let me go. And they listen to me. That's the great thing about Showtime. They listen to me, but the fans were like, man, this isn't why we listen to Brendan to be another freaking sports show. Like, you got to let him go. And they all were like, all right, here you go, man. Here's your points. Do what you want to do. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But then they edit it so I don't get in trouble. Like on my podcast. Which is why they're Showtime and I'm what I do.
Well, this is what we talked about the other day with Yves Edwards. Yves was in here. That's one of those things. Like, and I was saying, when you talk as much as we talk, I talk too much. You talk too much. We talk too much.
Yes.
When you talk too much, shit comes out of your mouth.
You're gonna step in some shit,
and then you're scrambling, trying to like make it make sense.
Joe, I can't. I didn't listen to the podcast with Yves. I like Yves. We don't know each other that well. The thing that bothers me about this is I couldn't even tell you the point I was trying to make. If someone's like, give us $1 million, tell us the point you're trying to make. Like, I forget. I remember I had Kevin Leon, and then I remember before that, I was 20 minutes deep into explaining why I think DC is the greatest of all time, besides you as a commentator, why he's the future of the sport. And then before that show, me and Brian were talking about something with race and men and women, and somehow that entered my brain, and I have no animosity toward it. This is why it doesn't make sense. I have no animosity towards UFC Tonight. It's one of my favorite shows. I've worked with Karen Bryant for over 10 years. She's a good friend. Woodley, DC, Kenny Florian's good friend. Bisbing's a good buddy. I don't know Yves. I work with the team on UFC Tonight. I love those guys. I just had Jimmy Smith in and on my show who works, there. It makes zero sense. And then I was in St. Louis and I started to get texts from someone involved in that show. I won't say their name. And he goes, hey man, some people are upset here about what you said. And I'm like, I can't even tell you what I said. And he tells me like, what? And then Chin goes, hey man, I'm seeing online about some of the stuff. He goes, should I edit it out? I went, no, we never do that. I go, don't edit. Let me deal with it. Let me see what I say. Because that makes me look even worse if you cut it out. It looks like I was saying something that I wasn't meant to say. And then, Yves was upset. And then me and Yves text back and forth. Again, I don't know him. Brian works with him a little bit on certain stuff for help or something like that for shows or what he was trying to do, which is great. Everyone should talk to Brian, if you're friends with him. And then I sent Yves a text, his number from Brian, and I thought it was over, squashed. And then I was doing PR for my Below the Belt show in New York, and someone brought it up. And I went, oh man, again, I meant no offense. I come up with about 10 hours of content a week. I can't even tell you what I was saying. I messed up. Whoever had problems with it, if it was Yves Edwards, that's his own insecurities, which is so stupid. Because I couldn't even tell you what he should be insecure about. It doesn't make sense. And then as soon as I get done with that interview, I get a text from my brother's list. He goes, you're an idiot. You resurfaced that story. I'm like, oh my God. And so I text Yves again. And then Yves comes on here, right? And then I haven't listened to it. And then, I text Yves like, dude, I don't want to keep going through this. I meant zero offense. I've texted Karen Bryant, DC, Woodley, literally anyone that you see tonight. This business, especially entertainment, this better than anyone. It's impossible to be successful in this business. It's a fucking monster. I'm willing to help them out. I want the help. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to criticize people. That's not what I do. That's not why I signed up for this.
You just got caught on a path when you started talking about something. Yeah. And then one of the things that we do, the best part about it is there's no script.
The best and the worst.
It's the worst
because I have to deal with this.
Sometimes it goes haywire. But
it didn't go haywire. My biggest issue is whenever someone was hurt by my words or is upset by something I said, then I'm like, I don't know Yves that well at all. But I lost sleep over. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I have respect for him. He's a pioneer at 155. Again, I love all the people you see tonight. I watch the show all the goddamn time. They're my friends.
You just went down a path and you got stuck. And you tried to just make sense of your words.
Makes no sense. I apologize to Yves. It's all good. I told him open door policy. Wants to come on the show. We can talk about him there. But yeah, I put my foot in my mouth. And I hate to tell you, it's probably gonna happen again. I wish I could say it's not. It's probably gonna happen again.
That's part of what makes it fun. Is that you are really working without a filter, working without a net. You're trying to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
And sometimes you take some swings and you miss.
Yeah.
Even
You miss a
swings
lot.
I can't even tell what ball I was trying to hit. I can't even tell you. I was taking swings at balls I wasn't even know what I was hitting. So, yeah, sometimes that shit happens. But
It happens.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. I mean, I've done it 100 times on this podcast, said some shit, and I was like, what the fuck did I even say that for? I don't even know what was going on in my mind. And sometimes, like, when you're trying to form a sentence, like right now I'm trying to form a sentence, right? Like, sometimes while you're thinking about it, you're like, this isn't going so good.
I know.
Let me try to make it sound better, or let me try to see if I could rescue this for the people that are listening and make some sense. And then it just makes it more cloudy and more fucked up.
And it's hard for people to follow, and you're just like, oh my God, I speak for a living.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on stage? I was going through my set, and I've been doing it so much lately. I'll be in the middle of it, and in my mind, I'm fast forward to already the next bit, and I'm thinking about that bit while I'm doing this one. Have you ever done that? Or
Yeah, you gotta
am
be
I
careful
crazy?
about that.
I know, because I'm not
Yeah,
present.
don't do that.
And you know what happened? Is I skipped over a part that was new and I thought was gonna be a home run. I skipped over it.
Yeah.
And then I went back and because I recorded it, right, and I didn't realize I was doing the moment, and I listened. And I go, oh my God! And I remember in my head going, dude, you're here on third. You're in first base. You're looking at third already.
Yeah.
You missed second base. You're not even in the moment.
That's hard because there's like you never know how you should think when you're on stage. You're doing the bit and you're just trying to perform the bit right. And if it's going well, then you start thinking, okay, this is going well. What am I going to lead into next? But while you're still talking about the original thing, you can't do that.
I know. Have you done that before though? Or am I stupid?
Yeah. No, I've definitely done it.
I was so disappointed in myself, man.
The big thing about comedy, one of the big things is the audience has to know that you are honestly thinking about that subject. Like, even if you talked about it 100 times, when you're talking about it that day in front of those people, they're hearing it for the first time. They want you to be tuned into that subject 100%.
And present.
Yeah, if you're not, they can sense it.
I know. I was so disappointed in myself. I've never done it before, and it was very strange too. Because, and this is what hurts me about the Yves Edwards situation is the guys I look up to, yourself, Gary Shandling, like they always help people, man. You don't put anyone down. They always help people, and I don't have the same platform you guys have, but I like to think one day I will, and I want to help people like you guys help people. Like there's the 60 degrees of separation, and you look at all the lives you've touched, and Gary Shandling, it's insane. That's so inspirational to me. And I was watching the Gary Shandling doc, and I went, man, that's so cool. And that's why this Edwards situation's fucking me up, because I'm like, damn, man, it's not. I don't want to hurt anyone. But back to the comedy, I was so excited because Gary Shandling stuff. Whenever they show Comedy Store stuff, it's just I'm so into it, man. He was talking about the Comedy Store, and I got super inspired, and I was like, let's do this. I've never been more pumped to hit the stage, and then that happened. I was so disappointed.
You're still getting in. I mean, think about like how long you've been doing stand up. You've been doing it less than 2 years.
Yeah.
This is a thing that's going to come up.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, when you're doing a certain move and you leave yourself open for an armbar. You're like, how the fuck am I still doing that? It's just, you just have to cement it into your head. It's a craft. I mean, you got a great work ethic.
Yeah.
And you're a funny dude. And you're very good at going off the cuff. And you're impulsive. Like, those are all great qualities for comedy. And you also doing the work involved, like, you're listening to tapes, you're going over notes, you're doing things a lot of comics don't do, because a lot of comics are fucking lazy. Like, I've had conversations with dudes, and like, you did a fucking special last August or last October, and you're already recording another one? And I'm like, yeah, I work. I fucking work, man.
Non-stop.
Like, I really work. Like, I get home from a Comedy Store, I'll get home, it's 12:30 at night, I'll just sit in front of the fucking TV. I'll put something on just for background, and I pull out the laptop and I start writing.
When you come back from the Comedy Store, right?
I
That's
start
one of
writing.
the best time to
I
do
go
it.
I go over subjects. I'll put. Sometimes I just have something in the background just for visual. I just like to be stimulated by something back. Or sometimes I'll just sit by myself at my desk, just nothing but that fucking screen, staring at it. And when I do that, every 2 or 3 days, I'll come up with a great line.
Yep.
Every 2 or 3 days.
Which is nuts.
Which
is a lot of work.
Yeah. And because usually I'll come home, it's late at night. I'll just take one little hit. Just sit there and go over the ideas. Give those ideas their time.
The stuff you already have.
Yeah, give those ideas their time. And then maybe I have a new idea. I'll flesh that out too. And then I'll come back and look at that again tomorrow night. And then I have a whole list. I started using this program called Scrivener. Have you ever heard of Scrivener?
No.
I like
on the
it.
iPad?
No. Well, you can use it on Mac. It'll work on an iPad. Or you could use it on Windows too. I've been writing on Windows. I write on.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
I like actual paper.
Paper's good,
Yeah.
but I can't write with my hands as fast as I can type. That's
Have it on iPad,
the phone version? Oh, they got a phone version too. Is that for Android as well?
Probably.
It says features for iOS.
So what exactly do you do with this, Joe?
Well, this is
Android.
different. Show the corkboard thing. The corkboard thing is interesting. What they do is just see if you could. Yeah, right there. Pull that up. So they have it like this is like you could do it in different colors. So you could have different. Each one of those things, those little windows, can be like a box.
Oh, that's cool.
That that doesn't look like a corkboard, but sometimes you could change the background and shit and make it actually look like a corkboard. But what it is basically a bulletin board, where you've taken an index card and you put it up there, and the index card has the subject.
Oh, that's sweet. So
I do that in real life too. I have a real corkboard.
Oh, really?
And I put index cards on the corkboard. Like if I'm doing like vegan cat, I'll do that bit. I'll put it up right there.
Hilarious.
That's
So funny.
I can't wait for that one. And I put all these different things on the corkboard. And then I'll look at them and I'll pick one and then I'll do it. But really, all these different things is just about making the time, putting the focus
Discipline.
in. That's what you do, and that's why you're getting better so quick.
Yeah.
And all these other guys are like, what the fuck? He's already doing an hour? What the fuck?
Yeah.
He's touring the road. He works.
Yeah.
He listens to those recordings. Nobody listens to the recordings, man. They record them and they never listen to them. I listen. You got to listen.
Have to. It sucks to hear your voice, right?
It's not good. There's
It's
the
the worst.
corkboard. That's what it looks like.
Oh, that's sweet, man.
Yeah. So it's set up like that, like where it literally looks
love
like.
that.
So I have that on my laptop, and so I come home, I'll bust open a card, and I'll pick a subject, and I'll start going. And if something else comes to mind while I'm on that, I'll just start
Boom,
talking
new
about
tab.
that. I just
Yeah.
keep going. It's all just about opening up the floodgates, but really just about giving everything more time. Giving everything more attention,
Yep.
more focus,
And not just skimming through it.
Yeah,
It's
so
never done.
what's good is a moment like this where you fucked up and you were thinking about one bit while you're thinking about another. Now you know that can happen.
Yep.
So that's like a lesson. So just look at it as a good thing. Like now your set will be stronger because of that.
Yep.
Whenever I have a bad set, the one good thing that it says to me is like, okay, I know how bad that feels. I know where I went wrong. I know it's live comedy, man. Live is crazy. It's just there's so many factors. It's so loose and wild. It's a crazy way to perform, and sometimes it doesn't go right.
It's the purest way to perform.
Yeah, I mean,
But everyone I know, like, as far as who's just the tip of the spear as far as comedy, like you, Burr, D'Elia, everyone, there's one thing in common. All you guys work, man.
Gotta work.
Relentless.
constantly. Got to be doing sets all the time. I'll do sets 3-4 nights a week. At the least, a good week I'll do 5. Like ramping up to my special, I'll do 5.
And your special's in April, right?
Yeah.
At
April
Wilbur?
20th, Boston. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
20th and 21st.
Can't wait, man. It's gonna be sick. Can't
How
wait.
great is that room?
The best.
That room is crazy, right?
Dude, for me, that's I highlight that one. Like
Yeah.
as far as lifetime achievements, the Wilbur for a guy like me to sell at the Wilbur, what? And then you open and we kept it a secret, and I'm a chatty Cathy. I'm so proud of myself.
That was great. That was
the
great.
fucking best, man.
Well, also that place is like 3 comedy clubs.
Yes.
It's like everyone's so close to you, even though it's like 1,100 people, 1,200 people, whatever it is. They're stacked up so close to you. It's like 500
top
on the
of you.
bottom, and then it's
You know what's
amazing.
like that in the fight world is the palms.
Yeah.
Where when I fought Roy, I was like, God, get off of me, man.
Yeah,
Get
right
out
on
of here.
top
I
of
didn't
you.
like it.
The Palms was great.
Yeah, palms is great. They're not doing that anymore, right?
No, I think doesn't Lorenzo own the Palms now? Didn't they buy the Palms?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Hashtag ballin'.
Taking over.
Yeah, because 27 casinos just isn't enough.
Like, now let's keep it going.
Yeah. They own all those station casinos. Those fuckers are everywhere.
You ever stayed at one? No. Don't. They made me stay at that Palace Station Casino before I went on The Ultimate Fighter. The worst hotel I've ever stayed in my life.
Really? The worst?
The worst. Hands
Really?
down, I've never stayed in a worse hotel. Now, at the time, it was under construction. It was off the strip. And of course, there was a hooker being smacked around the other room. I've told this story. When I thought I was going to be a Captain Save-A-Ho, and the guy pulled out a gun, and I ran in my underwear and almost got kicked off the Ultimate Fighter. I've told this story on here, I think. But that was Palace Station Casino.
Guy pulled a gun on you?
Well, it was the night before the Ultimate Fighter, right? Sorry if you've already heard this. It was the night before the Ultimate Fighter, and they put all the fighters in there, and they tell you, the production staff goes, do not leave this room. If you leave this room, you will be kicked off the show before it even begins. You're not allowed to leave this room. We're taking your phone, everything. All you have is what you bring in the house. Do not leave this room. We'll bring you food. Any food you want, call down. So I called, had myself a nice Caesar salad because I was worried about my figure on the Ultimate Fighter the next day. And I finally fall asleep, and I hear this arguing next door, and the walls are paper thin. It's Palace Station, for God's sakes. And I hear this guy and this girl arguing. I'm like, it's waking me up. I'm like, what the fuck? And then she's just going off at him, and I hear him slap the piss out of her. Boom, like hard. And then I hear her keep going, and I hear him hit her again. I'm like, all right, man. So I'm like, fuck this. So I get up in my underoos to like stop this because I just thought it was a regular dude hitting a girl. I'm like,
Right.
I'm not cool with that, man. I get up and it's all dark, get on my underwear, and I hear another dude go, nah, man, fuck this bitch. I'm gonna shoot her. And I hear a gun clock. I'm all, definitely not going in there now. Fuck that noise. And I'm like, God, it's so quiet. I'm like, I don't want him to hear me. So I'm army crawling in my undies to the door because I'm afraid fucking gunfire is going to go off. I get to my door and I hear him go, hold up, dog. Hold up. Someone's next door. I'm like, oh, shit. So you'll see, I'm sure there's video of this Palace Station, me just booking down the hallway. And I run to the casino, and the staff was like gambling something. They see me go running by. I went to go get security.
In your underwear?
In my underwear.
Whoa.
And I went to go get security. But all the production staff saw me, and they're like, what the fuck is Schaub doing? So I'm like, hey, some girl's about to get shot next door. I don't know what's going on, but she was hit before. There's 2 dudes in there, and there's a lady in my room, 213. And they're like, all right. So they go, show us. So I go up there. I'm all, it's there. It's there. And then they go to your room. But I'm in my room, like, looking to see what's going on. And, like, a whole crew of them go in. Fucking the girl starts defending the dude, attacks security. They have to tase the dude. The other guy who's going to shoot her, they put in handcuffs. And it's 2 large, black dudes. And I'm like, fuck this. So they bring me down the hallway. Because just in case it was going down, they bring me down the hallway. But I'm like this with the crew. And I hear the guy go, I see you, white boy, you fucking snitch. We'll be back. I'm all,
Ah!
and I was like, can I get another room? They're like, no, there's no more rooms. I'm like, well, they know where I'm staying, man. I'm supposed to start a show tomorrow. Like, what do you want us to do? I'm like, anything else. And I had to stay there, and I got zero winks of sleep. Literally zero, man. I was so scared. And the next morning when they knocked, I was like, yes, I'm here. Put me in the Ultimate Fighter house.
Yeah, that guy got out of jail like quick, I guarantee you.
Oh, dude,
right?
for slapping and she was a prostitute. I did not know that. But still, the pimp. It was a pimp and a prostitute, and then some John was in there.
She's a woman, Brendan.
She's a woman. She's my
deserve that.
equal.
She's your equal?
She's my equal.
I like how you think. You think you're a feminist?
Ah, man. That's where I get in
Can't
trouble,
even
sir.
say that even as
It's
a
tough,
joke.
man. It's tough.
Even as a joke. That's
tough,
just
man.
showing your belly.
I know, man. This whole Me Too movement, and it's, I don't know. It's a tricky situation.
It is. You think it's going to bounce back?
I think the game's changed for forever. I do. I think if you're a creep, you're going to get sought out and found out. However, I think men in power, in position, and if there's an attractive young lady in the office or the studio, this is always going to be the dynamic. Because I think there's some attractive young ladies out there who are like, I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's an attractive dude, just happens to, have some power and get me in movies or whatever, but I actually like him. I'm not being forced to do this.
Well, there's a new option now. It's almost like a new element is in the game. Like if you're playing a game and then all of a sudden someone found like a new magic power. You can end careers now. If you are like a woman who was sexually abused by a guy like Harvey Weinstein, you just have to take it. Now you have a new power.
Which is I'm all about.
Yeah,
however, some will take advantage of that power and pull that card when it's not
100%,
real.
100%.
And dudes are losing their jobs. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, there's people that are crazy. Like, look, that video that we were watching before the podcast today, of that lady who shot up YouTube. We're watching her online videos.
One of the worst YouTube videos I've ever seen.
She's fucking nuts. and there's going to be people like that, and there's going to be people like that take advantage of the Me Too movement. It's just going to be. I mean, there's no way you can deny that. It's just a part of human nature.
That's with anything, though, right?
Yeah, but
There's
ultimately, where it's going to shift is, look, people have to be nicer to each other, and they can't get away with shit like that. And that's what Weinstein was doing, was nothing but crime. It's just crime.
He's a bad dude.
He's a bad dude.
And I'm glad that happened.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm glad he got sought out and he's screwed and he should be screwed.
Can you imagine being a chick and you have to suck that fat guy's dick in order to get in a movie?
Hey, Harvey, is there any way you could just look a little more attractive?
No.
Do you have to be so hideous?
There's nothing he could do at this point. They would have to cut chunks of his face and pull it back together.
He has the
again.
money.
He's got this blah, blah,
What
blah,
about the diet?
blah, blah, blah. It's part of the whole thing, right? It's like he's a glutton.
Would girls complain if you look like Brad Pitt, though?
Tony Hinchcliffe has a bit.
Oh, does he?
I don't want to tell you the bit.
My bad. I haven't
don't
heard
wanna
it,
tell
by
you
the way.
bit.
I wasn't trying to screw up Tony's bit.
He doesn't use that as an example, but it's a great bit. You have to see it. I don't want to even paraphrase
Did I give it away?
No, you didn't. It's a great bit. It actually involves Louis C.K. It's a great bit.
I love it.
It's really fucking funny.
Tony's brilliant.
I don't want to tell you where it goes because it goes
Please
even
don't.
crazier.
Because I'll see it tonight.
You got to
I bet.
see it. Are you going to see him tonight?
Yeah, he's at the store. I'm at the store
He
tonight.
murdered. I took him on the road with me this past week. He's
a killer.
murdering. He murdered him in Nashville. Murdered him in Charlotte. A lot of rednecks heckling. Woo!
Really?
Tony had to go to war.
Good luck heckling Tony. I mean, he's a writer for the roast, for God's sakes. He's so witty. I fucked up one time and had let my shield down and told him I almost started crying in Comedy Central, and I just feel his neck get stiff and goes, and right away I'm like, oh no, here he comes. And then he was like, you almost cried in Comedy Central, and just roasted me for basically the rest of the show.
Why'd you almost cry on Comedy Central?
Just because it's full circle for a guy like me to be on Comedy Central doing stand up. You know, it was just a special night for me, and during the story that I tell, I talk about how I realized I was never become UFC champ. But being on Comedy Central and Judd Apatow is one of the books I've read when I was super, getting started in comedy. And that day I had Judd Apatow on my show. That night I did Comedy Central. I don't know, it just hit me in that moment when I was on stage at a strip club where they shoot it. And I don't know, I got emotional. I was like, you need to get your shit together, man. You got to get your shit together.
You're happy.
Yeah, I was happy and I was emotional, man. And then I said that on the podcast. And I just feel Hinchcliffe's neck go,
What?
and I was like, oh, fuck. He's like, this isn't Comedy Central in 2010. And just went nuts, man.
Well, Hinchcliffe's always had a thing with Comedy Central for whatever reason.
Yeah, for whatever
He's
reason.
got a burr in his side about them. Like, they didn't appreciate him. He's a very underrated guy, man. Like, right now, he's still, to this day, he's underrated.
I agree. And I think with your show, and he was close, I think he's a monster on our show. The most underrated guy who should be selling out theaters is Theo Von.
Well, you were talking about that before. Theo's he hit a stride like within the last year. He hit a stride where he just like, sometimes you'll see dudes, they're doing really well, and then for whatever reason they figure something out and they take it to the next level.
Break through.
And that's where Theo is right now. And he's a unique guy. Like, his comedy is so unique. Like, it wouldn't work with anybody else.
You won't see it anywhere else.
No.
That's what I was telling sometimes I'll watch other comedians and I'll go, oh, I can see how they came up with that idea.
Right.
When I watch Theo, I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What are you smoking?
Yeah, where are you coming up with
Where
that?
were you raised? How's that your view of the world? Were you raised by a fucking pack of crocodiles in New Orleans? Like, how the fuck did you come up with this?
Yeah, but even just hanging around with him, like off stage, he's just a weird dude.
Oh, bro, he pulled up
So funny.
He pulled up the studio yesterday, and he just got a new car. I won't say the car, nice car. We'd like it. And I go, dude, you're killing it, man. That's your car. He goes, yeah. And he goes, some homosexual bumped into the back of me there. Why is he a homosexual? He's like, because he was. I'm like, all right, man.
It just happened to be.
Yeah, he's like, just happened to be. He's just so hilarious, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of good guys right now.
I was talking about
time.
watching that Gary Shandling stuff and doing all this stuff.
That's Judd's documentary,
That's
right?
Judd Apatow's documentary. It's brilliant on his process and stuff like that. I got emotional on that as well. I don't know if you guys know this. Obviously, I'm a complete bitch. But Gary Shandling talks about how his goal through going through everything was to get on the Tonight Show. And then he does it, and he walks backstage, and he kills it, right? But that was his goal. And he starts crying. He falls into Bob Saget's arms, starts crying, right? Because that was his goal. But he's talking about the Comedy Store, and like he's talking about all the big names there. And I was thinking, God, that must have been cool to be involved in that back then, around all those big names.
Yeah.
I was talking to Brian. Brian goes, man, right now the Comedy Store, some would argue it's better. And when you think about it, I'm like, God, it is. When you think about all the fucking just legends, man. You, Burr, you got Marin, you got DeLee. I mean, just it keeps, the list goes on and on and on. I'm like, oh my God, it's packed, man.
It's a crazy time. I mean, it's certainly the best time at the store in terms of like the amount of time that I've been there. And I started going there in '94.
It's a long time.
It's a long ass time. So in 24 years that I've been going there, it's better now than ever before.
But when you think about it, I mean, obviously there's the cellar in New York, but as far as like, you go there on a Tuesday night, go there on Wednesday night. I mean, it's freaking
they're very similar.
Murder's Row.
They're very similar in a way, and they're also very similar in that they become big tourist traps too. Like Comedy Store, people take vacations for comedy. They do comedy vacations and they fly from Australia. Getting a lot of people from Australia.
Yeah, but because if you show up, you're going to see Bill Burr, Rogan, Mark Maron, and DeLee in the same night.
Almost every week, one of us is there. Someone's there.
At least, unless someone's on tour, someone's off. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times you are on tour. But shit, on any given Tuesday, Dave Chappelle might stop in.
Correct. And then Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, and, maybe Louis will make his comeback there.
I hope he does. I'm a Louis fan.
People like, whatever.
Come on. Come on.
You like people watching you beat off.
I mean,
there's worse shit.
Come on.
Yeah, just need someone to come up. Someone has to do something much more horrible.
Callen's shooting his special, I think, in July now.
He is? For who?
I forget who's shooting it, but definitely not his buddy who works for ESPN this time. So they're doing it right. He's doing it right this time, but they're going to go out there and try and sell it, but he's ready to go. I just hope it works out for Callen as far as Netflix or Showtime or somewhere. You got to land somewhere, So
is he going to sell it and then bring it somewhere? Is that the move?
I think so. I don't want to misquote Brian, but I'm almost positive. But he has someone who, I think he shot Segura's and a bunch of other guys' stuff. Like it's someone who knows what the hell they're doing.
Where's he going to do it?
I think Chicago.
Ooh, Chicago's
in July. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good spot. I'm there for the UFC in June. I'm doing the Chicago Theater, June 7th or some shit.
I love Chicago.
Ooh,
what theater? Last time I did
Chicago
Vic.
Theater.
Chicago, yeah.
It's great. It's beautiful, beautiful old place too. Yeah, Chicago's awesome, man. Doesn't get enough love. It's a weird place, right?
Does it not get enough love? I feel like everyone fucking loves Chicago. Their pizza, people won't shut up about it.
It's not really pizza. It's casserole.
It's a casserole. Correct.
Yeah. It's like,
correct.
Stop calling that a pizza.
That's not a pizza. If it's a large, thick square, that would be a casserole where I come from.
If you have a hamburger and you roll it up in a tortilla, is that still a hamburger? No, that's a tortilla. It's a wrap.
That's a burrito,
What's
bitches.
that In-N-Out protein style then? When it's in lettuce.
That's lettuce.
We call that a lettuce taco.
That's a wrap, though.
That's a lettuce wrap.
Chinese food place.
Correct.
Lettuce wrap.
Chicken wrap.
But
Chicken
it's
lettuce
not
wrap.
wrapped. See, the difference is the way you make it. It's rolled up. Look, you could take a piece of pizza and flatten it out and fold it over and over again, and then it'll become folded pizza. But if it starts out folded, what are you selling me?
It's a calzone.
You're selling me a goddamn calzone.
And I love a calzone.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of calzones.
Have you had a good thick piece of pizza from basically casserole from Chicago though?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Best you've ever had though?
It's very good.
The best you've ever had?
Where's the place we go to? What is it called?
Giordano's, that one?
Might have been.
You know who makes a nice square piece is King's in New York? Or have you ever heard of I'm getting the name. The artichoke pizza in New York?
Artichoke pizza.
It's called artichoke pizza.
Do you have to have ripped pants to get in there?
No, sir. No, sir. People kept telling me to go there. When I was in New York working for Showtime, I tried one slice, Postmates. Postmates is what makes me fat now because
Postmates?
Postmates.
Oh, is that you get food
They
delivered
just pick
to
it
your
up and
house?
drops it off to your hotel room. So I get done after a long day of PR. I'm like, pizza would be great. So I get 2 slices. I'm like, next night I'm like, fuck, that was delicious. Next thing you know, I got a fucking love handles and a triple chin.
Isn't it weird how when you're tired, you want carbs? You want sugar and carbs.
I wonder why.
I think it's like my willpower's weak. When I'm tired. I never fuck with Egg McMuffins or McGriddles.
My mouth's watering.
But if I'm at the airport and I'm on a fucking 7 a.m. flight.
You and I ate one together. You and I ate one together. I never eat that shit. You and I ate it together.
It was so good for the brief moment it was in my mouth.
Dude, you know what I was thinking? I'm like, fuck, I'd love a McGriddle, but I don't want to be judged right now. I'm going to wait to see if he goes to that fucking weird right place on the breakfast spot on the right, or is he going to go to McDonald's? When we started leaning over there, I went, And I want to be mad at Egg McMuffin. And you just looked at him and went, yeah, fuck this. Let's do this. Yes. Yes.
That's why I ate before I saw you guys. I thought you would skip it. I had to get mine
that's
in.
funny.
Yeah, you don't want to be the
That's
guy
funny.
who pulls the trigger. You don't want to be judged, man.
Yeah, most of the time I'm gonna not pull the trigger, but see, I feel like that's part of the thing. It's like pulling that trigger every now and then for the fuck of it. Have some fun. Get chicken and waffles. Go to Roscoe's.
Yeah.
Go to Roscoe's and slather that motherfucker with maple syrup and butter.
You just can't do it every day.
Can't do it every day. But you can do it one day a week.
I agree.
The Rock, his Instagram, like the pictures of him eating stacks of
His cheat meal?
stacks of pancakes.
Definitely a photo shoot. But yeah, I hear you. You ain't
I
eating
know,
all
right?
that, son.
You think so?
No, that's definitely set
But
up.
he's a giant. You don't think he eats all that shit?
Yeah, he's not a giant. I mean, he's on different supplements than I am. We're very similar size.
Different supplements.
Different supplements,
Different
sir.
supplements.
Supplementays.
Yes. Do you think they come from south of the border? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
sure he's eating the same tacos. He's eating the same tacos.
Yeah.
Did you see he came out and said he has depression?
Yeah. I think it's a football thing, man. I think, and then also pro wrestling, all that slamming, all that getting slammed around.
This is my take on this. I think, I mean, I'm sure you dealt with depression, right? You have bummer days. Jamie, you have bummer days, right? Shit happens. I think there's a difference between having a depression period in your life or events in your life, and then you're normally a happy dude, and then there's people with severe depression who have to be medicated.
There's a scale.
Yeah, and he's not on that scale.
No, he's not on that scale.
It
but
makes
he's-
news because he goes, hey, I've been sad too before. And we're like, yes, Rocket's sad too.
Right.
Different sad. We're not talking Ari Shaffir depressed here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He was talking about his mom was Ari Shaffir depressed, though. Much
Correct.
more so. His mom
Yes.
walked into traffic.
And I'm not throwing shade at Ari. Like, we've talked about Ari having depression before, and he takes medication. That's why I said that.
Well, he doesn't anymore.
He's off medication?
Yeah.
And
His
he's
life
hilarious.
got better.
And he's hilarious.
Magically became.
Oh, weird. Yeah, he's a phenomenal
Yeah.
comic and successful, and he's not
No,
depressed
he's not
anymore.
depressed anymore.
Weird.
Also, he got off Propecia.
Callan calls bullshit on it. Callan's taking Propecia like they're Skittles, and he's the happiest man I know.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily like universal. Like some people can take, penicillin and they don't have a problem. Other people are allergic to it.
Yeah, but I think it's a rare case where you take Propecia and get depressed.
I don't think it's that rare.
If you look at the studies, and this come from Callan.
I mean, look at
This is bro science.
Well, Callan just wants that hair. He wants to keep that hair so bad.
He'll do anything.
Look,
I think you should
looks
wear a
good.
wig.
Oh, good, fat one.
Yes.
A red one.
Yes.
Just go crazy.
So I can yank it off and shit. I want to wear a wig so bad.
Like one of those mesh net ones.
Just like
that,
the LeBron sprayed on, almost looks like a Pittsburgh Steeler
Is
helmet.
LeBron still doing that?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
You just got to let it go.
Question on this though, like, wouldn't you take Propecia because you're a little depressed because your hair's falling out, and if it didn't work, you're gonna stay
Correct.
a little depressed.
It also fucks with your dick game.
Yeah, maybe, but I think what they're saying is like suicidal depression, that there's something about the DHT inhibitor. Dihydrotestosterone, which is a derivative of testosterone, is what causes you to have your hair fall out. The DHT inhibiting factors in Propecia with some people.
It adds to it. It's a low percentage, though, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Might be.
The study this comes from, which I googled it. This might have been more than one study, but was in 2012, and it was only 61 men.
Oh, they only did 61 men? And how many
Yeah.
got depressed?
It said 61 men who formerly used Propecia who experienced more than 3 months of sexual side effects and had no history of depression, sexual problems of any sort. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, dude, if I'm losing my hair and my dick won't get up, I'm going to be depressed, too.
Yeah.
I'll
There's a
stop
lot of
taking
factors.
Propecia.
And then also you got to figure like what's happening in your love life if you're depressed and your dick doesn't work.
Correct.
So you're
But
gonna get more
also,
depressed.
but also, if are you at a 9-to-5 job you hate and
And
you can't
that.
pay the bills, and then
And
you
that.
have family
Right, so-
drama.
11% of those, I guess, so 11% of the 61, which would be, 6 of them, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Had mild symptoms of depression, 28 had moderate, and 36 had severe. So,
Whoa.
Go ahead and lose-
36 had severe?
I mean, so that's also then when you're asking them, so it's like, what was the study? What
But
did
hold
they-
on a second. Did you
Yeah.
say 61 people, 36% had severe
Right.
depression?
They also found that 44% of the men had experienced thoughts of suicide.
Hold on.
What? 40? Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
44%?
Right, but that's what I'm also going in. Like, what were they? Would they just ask them, like, have you ever thought of it? Because like, did they
if
call-
it's a scientific study, I'm sure there's some sort of protocol they have to follow.
Let me understand this, though. 66 people were randomly out of how many people took it?
Right. It says the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, study included 61 men. That's what it's.
So what is that? Like 28 dudes wanted to kill themselves? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, probably lay off that Propecia.
Fuck that.
I'll just go bald,
dude.
man.
Ari said it was almost instant, and he never put the two of them together. He never put the two of them together.
Depression with the
suicidal thoughts. All of it came right when he got he had some issues in the past with being depressed after breakups, normal shit, like everybody has.
Been there,
but that's not the case.
I never want to kill myself.
He didn't. Ari's kind of a stoic dude. He's very proud, and he doesn't talk a lot about stuff. And so it took me and him hanging out where he wasn't talking, and I was like, okay, what's the matter? And he's like, dude, it's just hard. It's hard to just not kill myself.
He said that to you?
And I went, what?
What?
Yeah. So we were playing pool in my house. And I was like, what? I go, what's going on? And so he starts telling me they put him on medication, and the medication didn't work. And then they put him on another medication, and then that didn't work. And, he's with SAG. He had SAG after insurance, not the best insurance. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, this is one of my best friends, and he's reaching out. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
He's saying something for a reason.
And I don't have any experience with that. I mean, I've had some bummer moments in my life, but I would never say that I was depressed. I'm pretty happy person.
You've been depressed though.
Yes, I've had bad moments.
Yes,
but I've never gone through depression. I've never been down for 6 months.
No, I never couldn't get out of bed or thought about suicide.
No, there's a scale of that shit.
I thought about dying, but
he was on the dark end of the scale.
Dang, that's
where
heavy.
He was thinking about killing himself and trying to not do it. So I just started making some phone calls, and I found my business manager found the best psychiatrist. Like he said, this guy is a wizard. He's dealt with a bunch of my clients before. He's helped out a lot. It was very expensive. So I just paid for it.
Not to save a life, though.
I just told, no, I mean, I don't think about it that way. I mean, for Ari, he couldn't afford it at the time.
So Ari's like, yeah, I'm sure a great option. I can't afford this.
Yeah. He was getting by winning poker tournaments and getting the occasional commercial.
How long ago is this?
Quite a few years ago. I want to say 2000, I don't know. It was quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
2004, some shit like that. I don't know. I don't remember when it was.
Sure.
But it was far enough back where Ari was really struggling as a comedian. I mean, he's talked about this publicly. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk about it.
No, that's why I brought it up. He's talked about it publicly. I'm not airing Ari's dirty, laundry out there. No. I love Ari.
I mean, I don't know what caused it. If it was that, I can't stop coughing today. My kids are sick as fuck.
Oh, that's how it goes.
My youngest
man.
one.
Yeah, and then everyone gets it.
Yeah. His career wasn't going well because he was, was just getting the ball rolling. Yeah. Really. But I really think it was the Propecia.
Don't you think it was the perfect storm? Mm-hmm. You beat Propecia, career, who knows what's going on with his girl, and then it's just this fucking perfect storm. Then the Propecia's making you even more depressed. Then you're like, dude, I'm thinking about killing myself. What the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah. But anyway,
some dark stuff.
So he pulled out of it, got off the Propecia, and then his career took the fuck off, right? He got on good medication. Whatever the medication his new psychiatrist got him on worked like a charm. And he was better in a couple months. A couple months he was back to Ari, fucking around, laughing. Then, oddly enough, when it started working really well for him, then his career started taking off, right? Of course, that's how it works.
Yep.
His stand-up started taking off. His career started taking off. He became happier, got off the Propecia, and then weaned himself off the drugs. And now
he's good.
Now he's good, yeah.
Now he's great to see.
But he smokes a lot of weed. And I always wonder, how much of that is self-medicating?
Yep.
But it's okay.
But you smoke a ton of weed. It's not self-medicating, though, right?
No, I like it.
You just like doing it. Yeah, you're not a dark guy.
It makes you vulnerable. It makes you think about shit. It makes you nervous. You don't just take things for granted when you get high. You start thinking about things.
My problem is I smoked the other night because I couldn't sleep, and I was thinking about a lot of things. And then I got this thought in my head. This is some weird shit, man. I was talking. I think I was telling Callan this. I hate when I think like this. But I was in San Jose and I saw this mom with two homeless kids. Ooh. And I was at the store and I was going to buy an expensive sweater and I felt so guilty. So I went and got cash and gave this mom a bunch of cash. And she started crying. I'm like, fuck, man. And there's like this weird guy around the kids. And the kid was about my son's age, about 2, sitting there, this little girl. And I thought, I don't know why. I had this random thought, what if he grabbed her by the legs and spiked her on the ground? I don't know why. I know. And then I gave her the cash, felt better because there's more people around. I'm like, no one's going to let that happen to a kid. And so that whole night fucked up about it. And then someone reached out to me like, dude, that's her side hustle. She does that all the time. She's actually not, we've seen her like raise those kids on the street. She gets picked up by her husband. It's a shitty deal. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. Then I smoked weed, right? And I'm laying in bed. And then I had this visual of someone doing that to my son. I couldn't sleep. I felt sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like sometimes weed, I can think, if I think about a bit, or I think about something, I'll go down this cool road. But then if that creeps in there, and then it's like, it kept coming out. It was so visual. And I was like sick to my stomach, man.
Well, I mean, it's
my son woke up at 5 and I fucking beeline to his room and just like squeezed the fuck out of him for the rest of the morning.
Yeah. It's hard, man. Nobody knows how much you love a person, how much you can love a person until you have a kid.
Correct. And everyone says that. Everyone says that.
It's real.
And I'm like, okay. Everyone I know, you told me that, Brian everyone told me this. But then once you have a kid, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just a different animal where now, like, when I see the shootings, when I see, the nuclear war talk with North Korea and Russia, I think, God, and I see that's a lot of negativity on social media and stuff like that. I'm like, the world is such a kind of a fucked up place if you want to look into that stuff. And when I have a kid, I think about him. I'm like, God, man, what's it going to be like when he's like 16 or 18? Like, what kind of world is it going to be when he's 18? If I think too hard about it, that's when I'll get depressed.
Well, I think the world's going to be okay. I mean,
for sure. I don't mean to bring this podcast down to a bummer.
No, but horrible things are going to happen no matter what.
Correct.
But it changes who you are when you have a kid. It really does. Or you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, or you're a sociopath and you suck.
It just, if you're around the kid enough, it changes who you are. And if you're not around the kid, it changes who you are because then you realize you're not around the kid, and that's going to take a piece out of who you think you are.
But you know what? If you and we have friends who aren't great dads or whatever, and you can see it in their kids. I'm not saying I'm a psychologist or I'm some expert in parenting, but if I go to a person's house and I see the way the kids treat the parents, I go, "You're not around enough, man."
Yeah.
I promise you, I can tell.
Yeah.
My son doesn't act like that.
Yeah.
Because one thing you can call me whatever you want. One thing I am is a beast of a dad. I know that. I don't know if I'm a good comic. I don't know if I was a good fighter. I don't know if I'm a good podcaster. That's all up for debate. One thing I know is I'm a fucking good dad, man.
Good for you, man. It's a very, 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 very important quality. And that quality, when your kid becomes an adult, that's going to be just a major factor in how you get along.
Yep.
Like even parents, I know friends that had bad relationships with their parents when they lived with them. And then once they got out, their parents were nice to them. But their parents were shitty to them when they were kids. And they always hold it against them.
Always.
They always have that shit in the back of their head. Like, why were you a dick when I was 12? That shit is always in their head.
It's like that Avatar horse. When you're young, you mix together. And if you don't mix together when you're young, and I was talking to someone, a therapist, they were saying, I think it's from like till they're 3. If you don't make that connection, when you're like, when they're 4, like, I'll do it now, it's almost too late because they already developed these brain pathways. We're like, nope, my dad's an ass.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing you can do to fix it.
Yeah. Man, I went to the movies yesterday with my kid.
What movie?
We went to see the Romeo and Juliet movie.
Oh, dope.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Sherlock Gnomes?
Yeah, the Sherlock Gnomes.
Yeah, cute little movie.
Yeah.
But, we went to that Cineopolis place where, you lean back, those things?
Yeah.
The seats lean back.
Good food.
And you take the seat rest down, and my 7-year-old just snuggles with me.
The best.
We're snuggling, watching the movie. I'm like, I couldn't be happier.
Yep.
I don't want to see this stupid fucking movie.
No, but I don't care.
She wants to.
Yep.
So I couldn't be happier. I sat there and watched this silly gnome
bullshit movie. Yeah.
She's just a little snuggle bunny.
I've watched Boss Baby 9 times.
Boss Baby's not a bad movie.
In like a week, though.
That's a pretty funny movie, though.
Boss Baby's great. Alex Baldwin's the voice. I watched like 9
funny.
times. But my son, whenever he watches, he snuggles up with me. Usually, this is why I want a daughter. This is why I'm jealous you have daughters. Because daughters love their dads. My son, I'm like, you little traitor. Little bitch. Mommy. Like, dude, it's me. Every morning you cry for your mom?
Girls are like that, too, in a lot of ways. It's
Sometimes.
You got to accept the fact that the mom is not just the soft, sweet, woman in the house, but she's also the person who made them in her body.
Yeah, and there's
like,
chemical connection
out of her body, man. There's no like. I had a deal with my wife. Like, I'm not naming any kids. I go, I got veto power. I go, but you do way more work. Like, it's way harder to make the person. I go, as long as you try to call the kid applesauce or something fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't feel like it's not an even proposition. All I did is fuck her.
Yeah, which you were going to do anyways.
Exactly.
Which I was going to do anyways.
You
But
just
now
got a
we got to deal with
bonus.
this seed, you know?
Yeah, you got a bonus.
They get a bonus. Overtime for you.
It is kind of crazy, though, that sex is how you make people.
I know.
And everybody just wants to fuck all the time, and you want to fuck a bunch of people.
But you don't.
want
But a lot of
with
people
those
don't want kids. No, hell no.
You know who opened my eyes like in a big way, in a podcast recently that's really been making me think a lot about this is Brett Weinstein. He's the professor that got in that. Do you know you know who he is?
Yes.
Controversy with Evergreen
The
University.
pronouns and all that, and they were taking the day.
No, that's
different one?
It wasn't a pronoun thing. It was the day of absence.
Yes.
They wanted all the white people to stay home. And he's like, that's racist. and-
Ridiculous.
yeah. Anyway, he was on. He said there's two different things that men are attracted to. They're attracted to a woman that they think would be a great companion and a great mother and like someone who, he said there's a difference between hot and beautiful.
Correct.
Like some women are beautiful and like they're loving. You want to be around them. He goes, but then there's other women who are just hot. And in males, that very receptive woman who doesn't require any commitment was an opportunity for men to spread their seed with someone who they didn't have to be around for.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's literally like a programming in a man's mind. So you see a girl with big giant tits and a little waist and a fat ass hanging out of her shorts and she's got sloppy makeup on and she looks at you and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yes.
But that's what that is. It's not like,
You don't want
hey,
to live with her.
Right. You're not saying, I would like to start a relationship with you. It's like, no, I want to shoot my load into you and then you raise my kid when I'm nowhere near you.
Yeah.
Because it's an opportunity for my DNA to propagate. And I was
Wow.
like, wow.
That makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense. I literally never considered it until he brought it up on the podcast. I went, oh, duh.
Me neither. I just thought she's hot, whatever.
Yeah, she's just hot.
Yeah.
Dirty in a dirty way. You're
Yeah.
like, why is she so
I'm
hot?
attracted to that.
Yeah, why is she so dirty?
Dude,
I don't know.
I told my girl Joe, probably 4 weeks into it, 5 weeks, we were getting serious, and she got this job offer to go to Miami, and she was talking about career and stuff like that. And I went, no, that's all cool. That's all, and no one's career first more than me. However, you're put on this earth to be a mom, right? Like, you're going to be such a beast of a mom. I guarantee you, because I saw her interact with Callan's kids. I went, I can guarantee you, you might be the greatest host in the world, but you're going to be the best mom I've ever seen. And then she's like, really? I'm like, I guarantee you. Fucking
Bam.
bam.
Yeah. Well,
There's just those qualities that you can
Right.
see. It's something.
and when someone's a bad mom, it's such a depressing
Oh,
thing.
man, nothing worse.
It's so depressing to be around. A woman who's like really short with her kids and shitty with them and like, oh.
Or even as a kid, if I had friends who like talk back to their parents or mean to their parents, like,
Yeah.
oh, God, what's wrong with you? Or if I was dating a girl, she'd like badmouth her mom. Like, what's wrong with you, girl?
You know, and the hard thing is that pattern's hard to break. It's hard to break. Those kids may very well have that same kind of behavior towards their kids. Like when they become adults, it's a hard pattern to break. Sometimes you need the right person in your life, like a good person in your life that a wife or husband or whoever it is, when you match up with that person, like it changes who you are too. That's what I always say, that one of the most important things about community, like your community of friends, is that when you have good friends, those people change you. Like you react like everyone is your tribe. You react like everyone's your friends. So you want good for them. You love them. You care about them. They change who you are. They change, if they inspire you, or whether they inspire you with being smart or with their kindness or with their ambition, whatever it is. That we're not individuals. We're a piece of a community, always. And that community, even if it's a small community that you call a family, that piece is dependent upon who you do that piece with. Like you might be an amazing dad with the right woman, but with the wrong woman, you might be so frustrated with the relationship that you're not as good a dad as you are right now. There might be chaos going on all the time. There might be situations you put the kid in where you're yelling and screaming at each other that the kid shouldn't see. all these different factors that are dependent upon your relationship with this other person. And they change you and you change them. Like, you might be the wrong person for them. They might be super cool and calm with someone else, but with you,
it's just not a mix.
It doesn't.
You hit buttons for whatever reason.
It's like a woman saying to you, you know, you don't want an equal. Like, well, I don't want this.
Yeah,
I don't want this.
I know
argument.
I don't want this. You might be right, but I know for sure I don't want this.
Oh, you're threatened. You're threatened by a strong woman. No.
I'm threatened by you.
You're aggressive for no reason. Who the fuck has ever said that? You're threatened by a strong man. You're threatened by a strong man? Like, what?
It's like, what?
Shut up,
Change
pussy.
the tables. I know.
What are you calling yourself, a strong man? Get the fuck out of here. Any guy who calls himself a strong man like that,
strong?
Most likely he's a bitch.
Yeah.
Most likely he's just trying to prop himself
up.
And I feel the same way about women who say that shit.
I agree.
Women who are like, you know, you're scared of a strong woman. Like, okay, am I really? Or are you a cunt?
Yep.
Are you a cunt?
Just a raging cunt.
Is this cunt talk? This sounds like
this cunt talk.
Sounds
this your cunt talk rant again?
Super uncomfortable. I don't know what got us to this position, but whatever I did, please, I'll apologize.
But I also feel like in this community of friends that we're talking about, if you were a shit father, it would show elsewhere in your life, around us, or if we're at the comedy store, or we're at a restaurant, or in your social media. It's going to come out one way or another, you know?
Well, you know
and
that
it'd be tough to be in that group.
You know that expression, how you do one thing is how you do everything?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's something to that. I mean, obviously, there's people that are really good at one thing and suck at other things, so it's not always 100% correct, but... You know, if you're a shitty dad, you're going to be a shitty friend.
I agree.
And if you're a shitty friend, you're probably going to be a shitty dad.
And I say this too with dudes who are shitty dads. It's like, all right, if you're willing to do that to you're connected to this person chemically. They're made of your DNA. If you're willing to treat him like that, when the going gets rough for me, where the fuck are you going to be?
Right.
There's no way I want you in my foxhole.
Yeah, that's big, man. And then people that don't understand that. They don't understand what they're doing wrong. Like, oof, that's rough too.
It's a bummer.
The people that can't see it, and you try to explain it to them, and they can't see it.
The one thing people won't put up with, though, is, and I would never do this, but if you give someone parenting advice, it just doesn't. There's certain things you can't talk about usually: politics, religion, and parenting. The
only way I think parenting advice works ever is if you talk about one great thing that you found that you do with your kid without criticizing that other person.
Yes.
You could give them advice, but not give them advice by, like, you could relay your personal positive experiences, and either they take it or they don't. But as soon as you start saying, hey, man, I see how you talk to your son, and you're like, what? What the fuck did you say?
I know. People get
Your son is, he's an individual, man. You treat him like he's an object. Like, fuck, I don't fucking treat my son like all of a sudden.
It's on. Game over. He's not even listening to what you said.
No, you're all ramped
Dude,
up.
I had my son was 1.5 at the time, and I was taking him to this play area, and he didn't know how to express himself, and everyone was older, and he'd hit kids, and he's a big kid. He's a 99 percentile for size and all that stuff, and he would hit kids, and the place where I was taking him in Brentwood knew I was a former fighter. One of the guys who works front desk is a fan. I've talked MMA with him, and they took me to the side and said, you know, we got a bit of a problem because Tiger is hitting kids, and we think it's in direct correlation of you letting him watch fights and from what you did. I just started laughing. You guys are silly as fuck. I'm never bringing him back. B, he's 1.5. Everyone else in there's 3. I mean, yeah, he cold-cocked that kid with a left hook, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. That kid took his toy. However, it's just, this is what kids do. They hit, man. It's nothing, and I tell him no, and I stay on top of my helicopter to parent the fuck out of him when he's in there, but he's 1.5.
Right.
The rest of the kids are older, and trust me, he's not watching UFC. It's not has nothing to do with it.
They think, like,
took me to the side, and this lady was like, that UFC or whatever you're getting into. God. I was like, oh my God, this is some Brentwood shit, lady.
There's a lot of
There's some Brentwood shit right now. All right, you gotta let them eat dirt. If they hit each other, they hit each other.
We're concerned that you're constantly reaffirming his gender without him choosing.
Oh, dude,
we're concerned. I was reading something about some lady who had a 3-year-old trans kid. I'm like,
oh my God. How about
Are you sure?
Are you positive?
Sure it's not just a kid?
You're 3. Oh, you mean how he's into cars this week? Next week he's being trolls? You want to chop his dick off?
Well, they were like, this article was like really super positive about it. And
Oh,
about
my
how
stop.
they're bringing the kid to therapy and shit and aiding his transition. I'm like, he's fucking 3. And this, I just read this like 2 days ago. I was like, this is so nuts. There's so much of this going on right now.
Yeah, and I want to be a transformer when I was 3. You don't see my dad putting fucking mechanical arms on me. Imagine if I was 3 and he put arms on me and I'm 19. Like, what the fuck, Dad? Why am I a robot now? Well, when you were 3, you told us you wanted to be a robot. It's the same shit.
It is the same shit.
It's insane.
It's so weird. It's so weird that people are just openly jumping into this. And it's these weirdo, super, ideological progressive people that just, they're locked into this idea that it's amazing to have a trans kid. And, the kid shows any sign whatsoever of being inclining to be female or inclining to be male, that they're pushing it. I'm like, God.
I feel like it's exceptionally bad out here.
Well, it's also very dangerous because they start wanting to fuck with the kid's hormones. Like, you got to let the child develop. There's no real science into what the fuck happens when you put hormone blockers into a 3-year-old and try to transition him into a girl.
But also the real doctors who know what the hell they're doing, they're not going to inject that kid with hormones. They're going to say, listen, if you want to do this, when you're 18, 19, even then's a little too early.
Even then's too early.
When you're 21, which is, again, it's too early. And I've seen this on some of the bullshit reality TV shows I watch, but these legit doctors go, then I'm willing to help you out. But before then,
get out of here.
No, get out. Let's see where you're at when you're 16.
But there's a market for it, which is a cruel thing to say and a weird way to describe it. But
here's the problem, Joan. We're talking about, on the spectrum. For some of those kids, they do feel like they're trapped in a women's body, and I feel for them. That must suck to go through high school and all that. But isn't that the exception? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it is
that kid the exception that feels like
also,
that? And they should have access to it?
How could you do that with a 3-year-old?
I know.
I mean, how do you know? I mean, you just don't. And anybody says that you do, you're crazy. People change. You change when hormones get entered into your body, and maybe you won't be the most masculine man in the world, and maybe you will turn into a woman someday. Maybe. But give yourself a goddamn chance to just exist.
Did you see the high school wrestler?
Yes, the girl
just beating a break, and then she wins and gets boozed like a motherfucker.
She does. I know, it's not fair. She should be allowed to wrestle boys, or he should be allowed to wrestle boys. But whatever, man. It's crazy. You're taking a high school girl and you're filling her up with testosterone, with injections. What? Like,
it's nuts.
And then you're allowing her to wrestle girls that aren't on testosterone. It's fucking cheating. Okay, if she was just a girl and she wasn't like trying to transition into a man, and they found out that she was winning the state championship as a woman, or as a girl rather, by taking steroids, they would take it away from her.
Oh,
they would say she's cheating.
There'd be an uproar.
But then what do you do?
Shit. Not let her wrestle?
Yes, not let her wrestle.
Don't let her wrestle at all. What happens if they go, we can't wrestle with the boys, and then just can't wrestle at all? Well,
either wrestle the boys or don't wrestle.
I would say
that's what he wants.
He wants to wrestle the boys.
She,
pronoun, son.
They.
It's he.
Their.
Z's. Zers. I think if you're gonna choose to go that path of this transition into a female, then you give up your right to wrestle, because we don't have a division for that yet, and we don't have enough wrestlers.
Yeah, she's transitioning to he, and it's not fair. If it was the other way, it would be more fair. Because, like, if you're a man and you're transitioning to be a woman and they make you wrestle men, well, you're going to be at a disadvantage because you're taking hormone blockers, or you're getting castrated, you're losing your testicles, whatever it is, you are at a disadvantage.
You're going to get that ass beat.
Yeah, he's at a disadvantage now transitioning to, he's at a massive advantage right now transitioning to a man. He's on steroids. The kid's on steroids.
Testosterone.
100%.
And probably a lot of them.
Probably a lot of it, because they're trying to turn him into a man.
Correct.
It's all nuts, man.
I know.
Like, where was this 30 years ago? Was it just like a silent epidemic?
Was everyone just undercover and like, God, I feel like a woman,
There was a few of those. There was like that one guy, Renee Richards, that the tennis player that wound up transitioning. He was a terrible male tennis player, transitioned to a female tennis player and started dominating.
Oh, that's Juana Man. That's the plot of Juana Man Tennis Edition. Remember that movie?
No, what was Juana Man?
Juana Man was a guy who he got suspended from like the Lakers, the fake Lakers in the movie. So he's like, God, I want to play basketball. So like, you could make the women's team and just wore a wig and put titties on and start dunking on bitches.
Well, that does happen today. There was a guy who was ready for this, 50 years old. He was 6'4" or 5", played women's college basketball because he played as a man, but now he's not a man anymore. Now this fool is a fucking woman.
This fool.
He's a fool. If
And
you're a
went
fool
back?
and you're 50 years old and you're pretending to be a college girl,
Hell
and you're
no.
like, I'm in a fantasy world.
Oh,
this is
hell
my
no.
fantasy. And she's a giant and she's swatting basketballs out of people's hands.
There's Joanna, man.
Yeah. See if you can find the guy who was 50, type in 50-year-old transsexual man, transsexual plays women's college basketball.
In America.
Right, yeah, in America. But here's the thing. Imagine if your kid is on a team with that person, and that person takes your kid's scholarship, takes your kid's
know.
role. Look at that, right there. 50-year-old.
come on.
Yeah, seriously. Jacked,
And got a
50-year-old
nose
man
on him.
and became a college basketball player at fucking my age.
Get the fuck out of here.
52, excuse me.
Gabriel Ludwig.
52. Okay. 2 years older than me, goes to college.
Can she ball?
I think she played as a man. Look at the size difference. Now imagine your kid is competing against her. And
can't get a shot off.
can't
And
get a
she's just
shot off.
Shaquille O'Neal and
and
your
it's
daughter.
just bullshit. It's like if Shaquille O'Neal was playing on that other team, if Shaquille O'Neal transitioned to be a woman and decided to go back to college, this college would let her play as a woman.
That's
Shaquille
insane.
O'Neal as a woman.
What college is that?
Douchebag University. I don't know. I
What
don't want
the
to. I don't want to give him any press.
Press.
It just makes me sick.
I mean, that's a giant
It's
man.
nonsense
with tits.
It's straight nonsense. It's straight nonsense. This is where
She a good ball player,
This is where progressiveness goes down the rabbit hole. What is it? Mission College?
That's probably a JUCO, huh?
I don't know what it is, but it could suck it. It can suck a
Not mad at the
non-existent
jerseys.
dick.
Yeah, well, here's the interesting thing. She played college basketball 30 years ago as a man.
what I said.
How does she still have eligibility?
Because she's a woman now. That's what I said.
She can go back as a woman.
They let her transition, and when you're transitioning, you go back. Now you're a woman. You don't have a history of playing as a woman, so now you're allowed to play again.
5 more years of college
Yep.
eligibility?
Yep.
Dude, I feel like a lot more guys are going to do this.
There's a few that would do it.
Oh, 100%.
You know, Dana White was joking around about that. Like, I know a few guys, if they could be a world champion, they'd cut their dick off. There's a few guys.
there's some guys who,
Look,
by all means necessary.
It's crazy to even suggest. But so is walking into YouTube, shooting a bunch of people, and then shooting yourself in the chest. That's crazy to suggest, too.
That's
people are out of their
crazy.
fucking mind.
That bitch was definitely out of her mind. And also, if you saw a YouTube video, no wonder you made no fucking money, lady. Those videos were terrible.
Well,
terrible.
there's something wrong with that lady's brain.
How about her dad goes, warn the police, like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys need to check her out. She didn't do something bad to YouTube. There's
Yeah.
some issues here. But if you're a cop and they did find her the night before at 2 a.m. because she went missing, they found her and they're like, yeah, she doesn't seem like she's going to hurt herself or anyone else. I don't know what you want us to do. Like, we found her. She said she's good. She's sleeping in her car.
Until someone does something, it's so hard to do anything about it. Like, they sent that one college kid. They're sending him back. They found his roommates. We were talking about it yesterday. His roommates were talking about him. They were seriously worried about him. He had bleached his hair blonde, started stockpiling ammunition, bought an assault gun, and then the cops came to visit him. And after the cops left, he went out and bought another AR. And they're like, okay, that's it. And they go, we got to do something about this. His roommates were freaking out. Like, people were freaking out being around the guy. And they sent him back on a technicality because he wasn't going to school, because he stopped going to class.
So what can you do?
Student visa.
What the fuck can you do?
They deported him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and they said, we think we prevented a tragedy.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
exactly what they should do.
I mean,
but
but-
however, with this lady, let's say they stopped at 2 a.m. She's in a car,
Right.
And the parent and the dad, who she came from his seed, goes, listen, she's gonna do something bad. We've seen signs. We've known her since she was a day old. You guys should do something about it. I don't think you should go, we talked to her, seems all right. Maybe take her in for the
What
night.
can you do, though?
Have
If
her talk to a
anything.
therapist.
But if she doesn't do anything, and then she does, like, people are so unpredictable.
I'd look at those eyebrows and toss her in jail for
that
for a
video
night.
of her doing those squats and the jumps, the workout video.
Terrible workout.
Look at those eyes.
Crazy. She's not there. She's from
It's
a
like
different
a
planet.
horror movie.
And then she's mad she's not getting freaking revenue from the YouTube, and YouTube's like, your videos suck, lady. We have nothing to do with it.
See,
You're crazy.
You didn't come up in the open mic circuit, so you don't have a PhD in psychos, like Tony Hinchcliffe or all these dudes that have been in the grind. Like I remember, I mean, I did open mics a long time ago, but they're fucking crazy people. There's a certain amount of open micers who think that they're really funny and they can't get work and they're angry about it and they're really fucking crazy.
I get on Kill Tony when I've been on like two or three times.
That's a perfect example. Yeah. Kill Tony's a perfect example. You go there and you're like, what in the fuck am I watching? And if someone tries to tell that person, like, maybe you should connect more with the crowd. I'm connecting with people. Mad. I'm connecting. This is my best bits. These bits are good bits. And the people are like, what in the fuck?
Tony told one guy, like, dude, you're bombing. He goes, they were laughing. They're laughing. They ain't laughing at you. And Tony goes, they're laughing because you're fucking terrible. And we're making faces behind you. He goes, that's laughing. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Tony's like, get off the stage. He's like, make me. It's like, oh my God, dude.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
But you see that too on American Idol. There'll be some crazy dude like my mom thinks I'm the best, the best since Lionel Richie, and they get up and they just completely bomb, and then they talk shit to the experts.
Yeah,
you guys just don't know what you want.
Well, you have to look at people as a whole, right? Now, if you look at people as a whole, like physically, right? There's people that are built like you, and there's people that are built like Vern Troyer. That's just a fact.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough.
But then there's also brilliant minds.
Right,
that
but my point is, it's come on 7. It's a roll of the dice. That's the same thing with everything. It's the same thing with your mind as well. It just is. The mind varies widely. It varies racially, it varies interracially, it varies age-wise. Like, you're going to have a 50-year-old black guy that's the smartest guy you ever met in your life, and you're going to have a 50-year-old white guy who is a fucking moron,
Correct.
and you're going to have a 50-year-old woman who's out of her fucking mind, and you're going to have a 50-year-old woman who's a brilliant physicist, and you're going to have everything. You're going to have every combination of smart and stupid and tall and thin. People vary, but they also vary with how crazy they are.
But also,
that's a variable.
I think some people are crazy, and then they find a passion, they run with it. Maybe it's music, comedy, but then some of those crazy people who are different than the others in high school get made fun of, get bullied, and then that craziness turns into darkness. Then they get a hold of AK-47. Then that's when you get the mass shootings.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's experiences with those crazy people, and maybe they turn the right direction, and they do something great, right? Great songs, come up with a great bit, or come up with a great TV show.
Yeah.
Or that person gets bullied so bad, the direction they go is dark as fuck.
100%.
And that crazy mind does crazy stuff.
Yeah, so 100%. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, along with that.
Medications?
Yeah, sure. Medications can do it. And it's all, every single mass shooter's on medications. But when you look at the combination of all the different factors, it's like when you see that lady crying in her car at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're a cop, you don't know what to do. What do you think? You think she's going to, like, I knew when I looked at her that she was going to go on YouTube and shoot that place up. No, there's no way you know.
There's no way.
But Nicholas Cruz kid, same thing. They came to see him 2 years before.
I know.
And they decided he wasn't a threat. And the people are like, the FBI's incompetent. No, 24 months later, first of all, he probably got fucking crazier. Right? In 24 months. His mom wound up dying like 6 months before that, so that probably fucked him up too. There's probably a whole host of factors.
Chain events.
Right, but he never did it before. How the fuck can you predict?
That's these random shooters. It's I don't know what you're going to do. The only thing with the YouTube thing is if the dad goes, listen, my daughter is going to do something crazy, and they find her near the YouTube Northern California offices, we should at least take her in for the night, talk to her.
Yeah.
And that's the least. You're not gonna lose anything. Taxpayers be happy to pay for a night in there. It's all good.
Yeah, I don't know if that would do it though. It's like that lady just seemed fucking nuts, man. Someone said someone posted it and said, "Be ready to never sleep again."
That didn't scare me that much.
Yeah.
If anything, I went, oh, she's batshit crazy.
Yeah, like super duper batshit crazy.
She thought YouTube was out for her because her views were lowering. One video I thought she had 45 views. It's like, come on, man.
That is fucking bananas, man.
I'm sure they pull her YouTube page by now, Jamie. Yeah. And how if you're gonna go out, right? Most people do it to the head. She shot herself in the chest.
That's dark.
Savage.
That's dark. That's a dark way to go.
And the people that have done that, I guess, people that knew their brain was going to get looked at.
Junior Seau did that. He shot himself in the chest because he goes, I want you to study my brain because it's not good.
Fuck.
That can't feel good.
No.
I feel like the brain be way
Damn,
faster.
we went dark. We got to bring it back.
We've gone dark this podcast.
We got to bring it back. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home on a positive thing.
Bring it home, bro.
Thug Rose.
Thug Rose. Oh, that's the fight no one's talking about. Joanna Rose.
Hey, Jamie, tell homeboy's got to watch the monitor.
All right.
Yeah, Thug Rose.
No
and
one's
Joanna.
talking about it. It's being overshadowed.
Yeah, it is being overshadowed. It's a crazy one, right? It's because nobody expected it to go down the way it did in the first one.
Not at all.
In the rematch, Joanna's on weight. She's way lighter. She was 122 last week. So she's just a few pounds away.
Here's my problem with this fight, and I might stop making picks. I said on the podcast yesterday, it doesn't make me feel good when I pick against people. It doesn't make me feel good. I feel like I have to do it because a lot of people don't do picks, and they come to me for picks.
What do you think's going to happen?
For a long time, I thought, oof, Rose, she's a monster, and I know Rose right from Denver. She landed that left hook, and Trevor teaches that, and Pat Barry teaches that, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Amazing fight. I bet they fight, 3 or 4 times. But if they do a rematch, which they should give Joanna the immediate rematch, Rose is going to be a little bit of trouble because Joanna is a fucking machine. Here's the caveat to that. When I see Joanna do interviews and she goes, it was my nutritionist, it was this person, it was this, never once has she owned it and taken credibility. I go, that's not the way a world champion speaks. That's not the way at all someone talks. Yeah. And when I see a bunch of excuses, I go, oh shit, you have a hole in your boat and you're masking it with duct tape and you're trying to get back to this point. You're just you're not actually patching that up. And so you're susceptible again. And now you're talking like that never happened. It was a fluke. Yeah. Rose is pretty fucking good. And if you don't respect her again, you think it's your nutritionist is why you lost that fight, you're probably going to lose again.
You might be right. That's
the only thing that bothers me. I think Joanna's one of the greatest champions of all time, one of the greatest fighters. But it's just when I see that, I'm like, oh, you're going about the wrong way. And she goes, I even talked to Rhonda, and she said she had a weight cut. I'm like, no one's dealt with losses worse than Rhonda. You don't want to preface that. You don't want to reference that at all.
Right.
I don't want to see that out of Joanna. She has so much more work to do.
Yeah, well, it's also Joanna had a long career in Muay Thai, a long career, like a lot of fights.
Oh, yeah, tons.
A lot of kickboxing sparring, a lot of MMA sparring. Sometimes your chin just goes. I mean, there's a real possibility. Sometimes your chin just goes.
You think it's a chin thing? I
don't
think
know. I don't know.
I think it's too early to call it for that, especially at that weight class. I think for her, it's more she just wasn't being respectful of Rose and thought she was going to walk through and all the shit talking she was doing. Right. And Rose is a different animal. She reminds me of Brian Ortega a little bit, where she's very dangerous on conventional and these certain spots you can't train for. So she's that type of animal with similar to Brian Ortega. But with Joanna, if a gun to my head, I'd say Joanna wins by decision. But again, I hate making picks makes me feel bad lately.
Yeah, making picks is tough, man, because you're gonna piss people off, and they're, oh, we're fucking rooting against me, huh? Like you have to look at the analysis of it. Before the fight, I thought Rose was in trouble. I'm like, Joanna's very hard to take down.
Me too.
Her stand up is world class, and I think she could very well pick Rose apart and crack her as she's coming in. But when she hit her with that left hook, she hit her before that and hurt her. But when she hit her with that left hook, I was like, Jesus.
Explosive, too.
She looks good, man. And Rose, on the embedded, Rose was, Pat Barry takes a giant box of tennis balls and throws tennis balls at her. And she's popping tennis balls in the air, and she looks fucking solid.
And Rose, too, her ceiling is, we're just seeing it. Yeah. She has so much room for growth. She's so young, and she has Pat, and she has Trevor around her. And now, forever, people are like, you're going to be world champion. And when everyone coaches tell fighters all the time. But when it actually happens, you go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
They're not bullshitting. They're not just saying this. And I think when she actually believes it, now you're dealing with different Thug Rose. You're dealing with different Joanna. Joanna doesn't think she's the greatest gift to the MMA world. So that kind of combination, it's such a fascinating fight. And no one's talking about it.
Yeah, well, everybody was so caught up in this cancellation. And the Ferguson-Khabib fight was so huge.
For the hardcores, for sure.
But it's also one of those things where with Rose coming into this fight now and Joanna making excuses for the last fight, I'm really interested to see what happens when they square off.
I can't wait for that
look
fight.
at each other.
Is Joanna going to do the same talking again, and Rose is going to reciting the Bible?
I don't think she can. I don't think Joanna can do the same talking.
You don't think she goes, this was a fluke, I'm doing the exact same thing?
No, I think Rose is going to stare right through her fucking soul
Me
again.
too. Be like, I'm the champ, bitch.
When you talk a gang of shit at someone and they just stare right through you and then they murk you in the first round, it's very tough to talk that shit the second time. It's going to be interesting.
I think that's a sign if Joanna isn't respecting Rose again. If she gets up there and start talking that shit, I would put a ton of money on Rose.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I see her doing the same things, I'm like, oh, shit, you learn nothing, girl. You learn nothing.
Well, it's whether or not Rose can clip her again. If Rose charges in and clips her again. It's also the thing about a striker always worried about being taken down is more likely to get hit with a shot.
Yep.
Like Kevin Randall when he knocked out Mirko Krokop.
Correct.
Same thing. Like Kevin was the threat as a wrestler, leaps in with a left hook and catches him right on the chin, knocks him the fuck out. I think there's a real correlation there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joanna's so focused on improving her stand-up and it's like, all right, I got caught this time, I'm just going to overwhelm her with stand-up. She gets submitted. She overlooked the submission game of Rose, which is actually Rose's best weapon.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, bro, we might see Rose throw a flying armbar.
Correct.
We might see Rose do some wild shit.
She doesn't care about being on her back.
No. And she's fast. She goes for shit. She's a wild, explosive person, and she's a really interesting thinker too. She had a tough life, man.
Yep.
Tough life growing up
tough.
and developed this very strong mind because
controlled chaos is what I call it, and she's brilliant at it.
Yeah.
And I think what else is fascinating about this, not that fight, definitely, I'm almost more excited for that fight than anything now. But what's fascinating to me is everyone talks about Conor McGregor, right? Especially when you're talking about 155. And with Conor and Max Holloway, Conor's never looked back and went, I'll fight that guy back there even though I'm better. The thing that gets Conor out of bed, I think, is the challenge and making history. And I think if Khabib or Max were to win, that would be a new challenge, and he would be an underdog against Khabib. And with Max Holloway, they obviously have a history at 55. Especially if Khabib were to win, I think we see Conor take that fight now. Because he goes, that's pound for pound great. Well, I'm the best at moving backwards, hitting dudes. I bet you I can beat that guy. And we see him, I think we see him take that fight. And I've never said that before. I've always, I know Dana said, they're going to fight in Russia. I'm like, God, why would Conor fight him? And then I think about, when you think of all the challenges in Conor's career and what gets him going, it's not people behind him. It's always when people go, that guy's the best. He goes, cool, give me that guy. Very similar to Max Holloway.
Yeah. If Max wins, for sure they have a rematch.
100%.
100%. The thing about Khabib is you always got to wonder who's avoiding him. There's a difference there.
Everybody.
Yeah. See, the difference is Max is one of the best fighters on the planet, no doubt. He's one of my top guys, maybe 100%. Even ever. Top featherweight of all time. But people aren't avoiding him.
No. It's like I said, Khabib's a different animal.
He's a terrifying guy.
I referenced this. I said, if you gave me a choice to make the walk against Francis or Khabib, I'm picking Francis because it's a quick death. He's going to knock my head into the third row, but it's quick. Khabib, it's like an ISIS video. It's going to be long, drawn out. It's going to be a fucking nightmare that you're not going to forget.
Yeah, he's going to beat your body into a pulp.
But the worst is he breaks you where it's like, oh, you were good at this and people thought you were mentally strong? Watch this. Now your entire family and friends going to see how much of a pussy you are as I bash your brains in round after round after round after round.
You see him break guys too, though. You see there's something happens to them when they give in to the inevitability of getting ragdolled.
Oh, he's just better.
Yeah.
Oh, the only person that's going to beat him, it's not a person, it's a fucking grizzly bear. It's like, fuck this, man. And you can see it in their eyes where it just changes, where it's just like, nope, not happening. Yeah. Oh, how many rounds? Four more rounds of this? This is terrible.
If he wins and he beats Holloway, I guarantee you he's calling out McGregor.
He wants the GSP fight.
Khabib wants GSP? Holy shit.
That's what I hear.
Whoa.
That's the super
at 170?
Fight for him.
Whoa.
What a great fight, right?
It's a perfect time to do it right now, right? GSP wins by rear naked choke against Bisping at 185, says he doesn't want to fight at 85 again. Here, take your belt. Suck it. GSP just goes, suck it. Take your belt. Take your belt.
Yeah, I know I told you I'd fight there. Suck
Do whatever you want to do with that belt. I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. I made a couple $1,000,000.
True.
I'm going to kick back for a while.
And now you get Khabib, who, you fancy yourself a grappler, GSP?
Yeah.
Me too. Let's party.
That's a really interesting
if
fight.
I could make a super fight, if I was like Dana, Scrooge McDuck, just sitting on top of all these gold coins, I'd call it Ben Askren. Like, yo, any interest in fighting Khabib at 170?
Fuck yes.
What's up, brother?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's the fight.
Call your boy.
I'll call my boy. I'm going to talk
He
to him
blocked my call.
this
Like,
weekend.
call your boy.
Did he block your call?
I don't call him, but I'm sure he
I'm going to
fucking.
talk to him this weekend. That would be the fight. But
What?
you know,
The one
they
fight
wouldn't-
to get him
But here's
out,
the thing:
the
what if
bet.
Ben Askren wins? He starts talking shit, calling Dana a
Perfect.
fat fuck, you
Perfect.
fucking egghead.
It works. It sells pay-per-views. It's the bottom line.
Yeah, but then you ruin Khabib if Ben Askren could beat. I think you give Ben Askren a guy who's a good fighter.
GSP.
Well, yeah, but seeing it, most people don't know who Ben Askren is. The problem is he fought in Bellator for so long, and then even when Bellator's gotten bigger on Spike TV, he was off in ONE FC.
Which, yeah, no one saw.
We are huge Ben Askren fans.
I know.
But we're hardcore. Like the casual fan has no idea. Like, who's this guy with the curly hair they're sending to his death?
But we can sell it because
Yes.
he speaks well. He's a beast on the mic.
Oh, yeah.
And then you pin
Never gets hit.
an Olympian
Yeah.
who's undefeated, never been
Yeah.
hit against
Right.
Khabib.
Yeah.
We call it the Cold War.
Well, I think in the UFC, particularly me, who I'm a big Ben Askren dick rider, and Jimmy Smith, who's also a big Ben Askren dick rider.
I think we're all dick riders.
We're all
Ben
dick
Askren.
riders. We could sell the shit out of it. I could hype the shit out of
Oh
that
my
fight
God.
and to be 100% honest in the process. I think he's something special. I think his grappling is very unusual, very difficult to prepare for. And if you're going to deal with Khabib against a guy who can neutralize his stuff, and then we see, like, what if we see Khabib on his back? Ben Askren fucking with a knee across the belly, punching Khabib in the face. We're like, no.
What about Ben Askren on his
No.
back?
Right.
And
What about
Khabib
it?
just doing the ground and pound. Or
Right.
there's these crazy
Yep.
scrambles,
Yep.
and the
Yep.
grappling community is going to be like, what the fuck?
It would be amazing.
This is terrible striking, but
Good
what
luck
the
selling
fuck?
that to Uncle Dana. Uncle
You don't
Dana's
think
gonna
so?
be fuck you. He's gonna slam that phone down. Fuck you. He would have to have.
He's like, sir, I'm trying to finalize CM Punk Floyd here. And you're talking about Ben Askren, Khabib? How dare you?
He would have to have a good relationship with Ben Askren. They would have
No,
to
he
be
doesn't.
buddies.
I disagree. No,
Really?
he doesn't.
No?
He can go, all right, I'm going to make money off this kid. I have $450 million. I can make money off this kid. Let me do this.
Don't you think you'd have to put Ben Askren in a UFC fight though against somebody to show everybody what he's capable of?
Nope. He has all those belts, undefeated, Olympian. We
Right.
just promo the shit. He's on Embedded. He's on UFC Tonight. He's on Below the Belt. He's on JRE. We go on this
Yeah.
campaign. He's
Campaign.
dressed in a flag. He's like, watch me beat the shit out of the
That's
pound for
Russian.
pound great Russian. Who else doesn't like Russia? We're all, yeah.
MAGA, MAGA.
Great.
Ooh, I like it.
It's never happening, probably, though.
It's never happening.
No.
But you sold me.
Thank
if we
you,
could
sir.
just get Dana to listen to this video.
Dana, Uncle D.
If you just have him fight someone who's really good, like a Neil Magny or Carlos Condit, have him his
He's eating
introduction
him
fight.
up like fucking Kobayashi
But
hot
let's
dogs.
watch that introduction fight. And who knows?
Nope. This is a one-shot Hail Mary here. We're selling the fuck out of it.
I'm interested.
Because then what happens if he fights Neil Magny or Carlos Condit and just like rapes him, humps him for 3 rounds? People are like, that sucked, man. I know, but he probably won't be able to do that Khabib. So you got to watch that one. We missed the
his
boat.
style is so much more suited to ONE FC because they allow those knees to the head on the ground.
True.
Soccer kicks and but do they still allow soccer kicks in ONE FC?
Did they stop it after Brandon Vera like almost executed, dude? I thought, or maybe I think they still do it.
How about the Roger Huerta one?
Oh, my
When
God.
Roger Huerta got head kicked by that dude.
How about
and was-
Roger Huerta's fighting Ben Henderson this
Yeah,
weekend? That's
Bellator.
flying under the radar.
Yeah, it is flying under the radar. Well, it's like, you know, Huerta was the first ever MMA fighter on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
People forget.
forgot.
Yep.
People forgot that back in the day, was this like 2002-ish, 3-ish?
Yeah, he was coming.
Four?
Right before that, I forget who he beat. Then he was supposed to fight Kenny Florin, if you remember. And he was on the front cover.
What year was that?
2004, 2005? No,
That's crazy.
later than that. 2006. 2006.
6? What does it say? Oh, yeah, here's the head kick. So the dude he's already beaten him. He ragdolls him. Huerta's down. And look at this. This is horrible. Boom.
Oh.
I mean, that is one of the worst head kicks you'll ever see. That was horrible. That
See,
dude
I don't
was-
want to see that. I
Yeah.
don't want that in my sport.
That's horrible. That one's horrible. Like that guy was already hurt and out of it before that. Whoa, the average casual adult soccer player can kick a ball with 1,000 foot-pound force. The average professional soccer player can kick at about 1,200 foot-pound force. My educated guess is elite, highly trained martial artists perform very similar to the professional soccer player. I'll tell you what, you put somebody down on their hands and knees and I kick him in the head like that,
It's going to be a lot more than that.
they're fucked.
Oh, he might Rogan killed a guy. You know, you don't want to see that.
You could kill somebody
Yeah.
doing that. You literally could snap their neck. There's no doubt about it.
When
If
was
you-
that Sports Illustrated cover though, Jamie? Because remember
Roger Huerta on
Roger
the
Huerta,
cover of
Sports Illustrated.
I want to.
and it says is the UFC the next emerging sport,
Yeah.
or is it just a fad or something like that? on
I
the
want to
cover?
say 2006.
Me too. I'm thinking
because
6-ish.
I think it's post. It's post.
Tough.
Yeah, it's post Stephen Bonner, Forrest Griffin.
Yeah, agree.
And that was 2005.
Yeah, so
maybe
2006, 2007?
maybe 7.
But
So
remember
at least
Roger
10 years
Huerta,
ago.
he got all that notoriety, and then he tried big dick in the UFC. Went, no, I want this, this, and this. They went, cool, we're going to sit you and then give you the worst matchup possible. Here's Gray Maynard.
Yeah.
May 28th, 2006.
Yeah.
Boom.
There it goes.
What's
Boom.
up,
Or
Doug?
2007, I'm
Nailed
sorry,
it.
2007.
Oh, 7. Shit.
Sorry, my bad.
Mother.
So we were in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah. So this was, Roger Huerta was like the poster boy. Handsome, Hispanic, Latino, bad motherfucker. Remember when Roger Huerta beat that dude up that punched a chick in the face like a goddamn superhero in Austin, Texas?
He's a big football player.
Big
black
football
guy.
player, sucker punched a girl in the face in front of everybody, dropped her. And then Roger Huerta takes his shirt off and fucks this dude up. There's a scramble. You see the dude squaring off. Roger's way smaller than him. Cut to a few seconds later, you see Roger soccer kicking him. Here it is. So Roger is standing back here, and this guy steps into this girl.
TMZ, son.
Did
World
you show
star.
the first beginning of it?
That's a long video. I didn't want to.
Yeah, but the beginning of it is when he steps in and punches the girl in the face.
right there.
Oh, right
Yeah,
there.
well-
he drops the girl.
Go to right to the beginning.
Knocks
right to
the girl
beginning,
out.
Right to the beginning.
It doesn't play the whole thing.
So the guy in
Oh.
the guy in the orange shirt, big ass dude, drops a girl, female
Punched her in
girl.
the face.
Then look, Huerta, look at him.
Yeah.
Good luck holding back
No,
Huerta.
he's talking shit.
He's saying that's a girl, man.
And he's so much smaller. This guy's like, fuck you. I'll fuck you up too.
Huerta always had good fashion too. Just want to throw that out there.
There's another video of this where you hear more volume with them talking to each other.
This might be the only one I've ever seen. Oh,
Yeah,
there
okay.
goes Huerta, takes his shirt off, and he's pissed.
Yeah.
Guy who hit girl, Roger Huerta.
Yeah, they both took their shirt off. Okay, here we go.
That guy had some titties with a.
So Roger chases him down. Well, Roger was fast as fuck, too.
Hell
That guy
yeah.
had no idea what he's doing.
He was
Before he
an
knew it,
animal.
Before he knew it, that dude's getting punched in the face. And at the end, you see Roger's got the dude in the ground soccer kicking him.
No, it's like jumping into the water and there's a
Yeah.
crocodile in there. Before you know it, look at Roger.
Boom. He's out cold.
You know, and that's justice, isn't it?
It would be justice if he kept-
he's
if he
basically a
kept kicking
Mexican Batman there.
If he kept kicking him, it would have been justice. I mean, it was justice for sure, but fuck that guy.
Oh, I know.
Some guy,
Coke hawk a
imagine
girl.
sucker punching your daughter. Big, giant, 250-pound football player, sucker punches
Be
your
hard not
daughter
to
in
kill
the
him.
face.
It'd be hard not to kill him.
Very hard not to
Super
kill
hard
him.
not to go
That
to
guy's
prison.
very lucky he's alive.
Yes.
Very lucky he's alive, and he probably shouldn't be. If he doesn't feel remorse for that, sucker punching a girl in the face like that,
What's wrong
it's a
with you, man?
special kind of piece
That's
of
a
shit.
big dude, too.
It's a giant
Huge.
dude. Yeah. I mean, who knows what the fuck was going on in his head? But then again, who knows what the fuck is going on with a lot of football players that have suffered a lot of head trauma?
True. Or he could just be a bad guy, though.
Could
you
be
know?
a bad guy.
Maybe he was raised around that, thinks it's okay.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows what the girl did
Either
too,
way,
right?
never okay to hit a girl.
Fuck, like that too. That's a horrible
Like
thing
that?
to watch. It's a horrible thing to watch.
It's
I mean,
awful.
if that guy punching a guy like you is horrible, but punching a girl in the face,
Horrible, man.
there's a lot of fucking shitty humans out there, man. It's a real unfortunate part about us.
We keep going dark.
Ah, it's hard.
It's tough not to
when you
today.
watch something like that.
I know.
But,
But
thank
Roger
God
Huerta
was
saved
there.
the day.
He did, man. Superhero style.
I bet that guy. I bet his friends like. Remember that time you got murked by Roger Huerta? And he's tiny.
Yeah.
He fought 155 pounds, and your giant ass is all juiced up in the goddamn weight room every day, and you still got knocked out for hitting a girl. Remember that asshole?
Yeah, that
every
guy
day.
never lives that down.
Nope. Even now, I'm sure people will find him on Instagram and be like, hey, Rogan and Schaub were talking mad shit about you, man. Remember that? You're
Well-
never going to live it down.
If he never went to jail for that, that's the punishment.
Correct.
You never went to jail for that? You're supposed to go to jail for that.
Yeah,
That's
for a long
supposed to
time.
put you in jail for a long time.
And hopefully he doesn't have kids.
It's dark. Dark.
We went dark again.
We go dark sometimes. What else is on this card this weekend?
You got Chiesa, Anthony Pettis.
Ooh.
That's a fun one.
Everybody's slept on that fight.
I know.
It's another one that's gone under the radar.
I know.
Chiesa,
I like
Anthony
both those
Pettis,
guys.
very interesting, man. Chiesa, man, he fucking submitted Beneil Dariush. He gets your back. You're Fucksville,
But
son.
remember, he got submitted by Kevin Lee.
He did, but he didn't. He didn't. He didn't get submitted. The referee stopped it.
I know, but he was saying he was good.
Look, he was tightening up his neck.
Yeah,
He wasn't
we've seen
out.
that.
You got to let the guy go out.
Oh, come on, brother.
100%.
He was
Paul Felder, Al Iaquinta.
That kicks it off.
Woo!
Dude, Cater, did you see? You remember Cater fighting in
Yes,
Boston? He's
yeah.
a monster.
Calvin Cater and Moicano. That's a good fight, too. Go
Dude,
up
look at the
there.
undercard. You got Borg, you got Joe Lozon.
Go
you
up
got
there,
Kep
upper
Dunham.
right-hand quarter. Calvin Cater and Renato Moicano.
Great fight.
That's a great fight.
That is fight of the night written all over it.
Yeah, dude.
All over it.
God, there's fucking 5 excellent fights in that main card.
Look at your boy Fleece, or look at your girl Fleece Herring.
Yeah. Versus Carolina.
Yes.
Carolina Kowalkiewicz.
And then I'm not even mad at the Fight Pass fight, the main one. Your boy Bruce Leroy versus Lobov.
Ooh,
Did you hear
that's
about
good,
Artem
too.
Lobov, who's obviously Team Connor, and then Team Khabib saw each other and they got into it?
Did they?
Yeah, the Team Connor and then the Team Khabib's got really into it. Because Khabib obviously asked for Connor when
Right.
Tony fell out, and Dana was like, come on, let's get real.
Yeah, you can't put that.
You have a
fight
better shot at
together in
fighting Ben
6
Askren.
days.
I read there's video supposedly of Lobov calling him a coward, and like he was calling him out to say it to his face.
Oh, wow.
So
that
good
never
luck.
goes good with
luck
those
with
guys
that.
from
For Dagestan?
Dagestan. It's Dagestan, right?
Yeah, you know how many people he must have seen get killed? Shit. Nurmagomedov, like mentally, he's in a completely different space.
God damn, Mike can't even be in color?
Yeah,
Hashtag
why,
no
do they have
racist.
Mike, why do they have Mike Rodriguez?
Why is Mike in black and white? Why is
what
he in
the
dad
fuck
shorts?
kind of shit is this?
What kind of bullshit?
What is this bullshit? They didn't even allow him to flex.
God damn,
They
Mike's
caught him just
guts
standing
out.
there.
He has the fucking regular Russell shorts on that you get in gym class. Fuck, Mike.
Oh man. Oh, Joe Lozon's on the card too.
Mike, Slow Mike Rodriguez. That's not a great nickname. Slow Mike. That's not good.
That's a trick. He's fast.
So fast I couldn't get him a colored picture.
Light heavyweight. Look at that. 205 and 192. What is that? What's that shit? That's not real weight. His real weight's not 192. One of them's 205, one's 192. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, unless they're fighting at 85 and they caught them before the weight cut.
That makes zero sense.
That makes zero sense. One guy's 13 pounds heavier? Like, what weight class are they fighting? I mean, no, I know that's light heavyweight, but what is that?
Mike Rodriguez, what's a strange name for a black guy, last name Rodriguez.
Might be Cuban.
Maybe. His name's Mike, though, Slow-Mo Mike. But he's just fortunate he got a picture, because usually they just throw up a shadow if they don't have it.
Right.
This time they went, you know what? You're not getting a shadow. We're going black and white for you.
Yeah, we're going to let people know that you haven't really fought in the UFC before, so we'll give you a
But we're still
black
going
and
to get
white.
pictures.
What do you think about Chiesa and Pettis?
Man, Pettis, right? It's
It's
just
on a bad streak.
he's on a rough streak. He won his last one, right? But then him fighting at 45, whoever told him to do that's insane. So that's how Holloway got his belt. But
I'm a Kevin Lee fan, but I say he did not submit Michael Chiesa.
You're
I
out
say
your
he had
goddamn-
it,
you're out
and
your
they should have
goddamn
let him. They should have let him go out, and he would have won. But they didn't, and he didn't.
okay, so we're in the same boat. However, if it would have kept going on, he would have been choked unconscious.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I've been doing jiu-jitsu way
Maybe
too long not to know. that
Chiesa's
motherfucker's
like
not
Hicks and
drop.
Gracie. Hicks and Gracie lets black belts take his back with a full rear naked choke, and it's like, go ahead.
I know, crazy.
Try to choke.
I know that's you know what Gracie we're talking. That's Hickson for God's
Hickson,
sakes.
yeah.
That's I love Chiesa. That's a far cry from
Right.
Hicks and Gracie.
But-
and also, he went to go tap. If you look at the video, he panics a little bit, and now he's a black belt, I think.
Yeah, he said
he
that
knows
he
what
was-
the fuck he's doing. He was going out.
concentrating on his neck. If you hear him talk about it, that he tightened, he put all his focus on his neck and let his hands go, and he's just tightening it up.
Nah. Oh yeah, and you have Kevin Lee, who's a fucking anaconda around your neck,
Yep.
and has previous wins of rear naked chokes.
Yep.
I don't buy it. I agree with you. They should have let it go on. I think we've been choked unconscious.
Gotta let it go on.
You have to.
You gotta let it go on.
The only worst ref I've seen was the ref in the Joseph Parker fight.
I didn't see
Anthony
that
Joshua.
fight.
The ref would not fucking let these guys fight. Anytime they even got close, he jump in there and push them away.
Who do you think that favored?
I think they thought it was going to favor Anthony Joshua. For sure, they want him to win, but actually favored
Parker?
Well, yeah.
Did you agree with the decision?
Yes, Parker definitely lost, but I don't agree where people are like, "Oh, Anthony Joshua looked bad in off night." No, you morons. And Paulie mentioned this: the distance they fought in is such a high level, no one got hit, and Parker's such a good boxer. His jab is so goddamn good. It was just a battle of straight skill, man. And I thought it was so impressive. And people walk away from it going, man, Anthony Joshua's not that good. I went, man, he's better than I thought. He can box way better than I thought.
Well, it's because you understand fighting.
Yes.
The people that say, well, it's not that good because he didn't win by spectacular knockout.
Yes.
Like Deontay Wilder.
Correct.
Wilder, that's interesting. The Wilder fight is very interesting because Wilder talks a ton of shit. He's exciting. He's brash. He's got serious knockout power.
Crazy.
And he's fun to watch, man. And he's like a brash American. You know, that's a great
It's
fight.
a great fight.
When are they going to do that? Does Wilder have to fight somebody first?
It sounds like Joshua's going to fight someone else and Wilder's going to fight someone else.
Why are they doing that? That's so stupid.
It's so stupid. You know how boxing is, man. It's so stupid.
Well, they build it up to make this big, giant event. And when it comes off, like, look, it comes off like Pacquiao versus Mayweather. It's giant.
It's the number one problem with boxing. Give us the matchups everyone wants to see.
Yeah.
That's why the UFC gains so much ground.
Right.
Because usually Dana, besides Askren and Khabib, usually when there's a fight, Dana goes, boom, there you go. You want to see Stipe ADC? Boom, there you go.
Yep.
Conor Aldo? Boom, there you go.
Yeah.
So we get all this. Conor, Eddie Alvarez? There you go. So we get
Yeah.
these super fights. In boxing, like, no, listen, we want to do this, and this guy's a mandatory. I manage this guy, and this guy's PBC boxing, this guy's Showtime, so it's just all this red tape.
Yeah.
It'd be a phenomenal fight.
Phenomenal fight.
It's going to happen. I think it happens. I don't know if it happens at the end of this year, but
I just can't believe Triple G and Canelo are not going to fight.
That's such
May
a bummer.
5th. I feel like it's not even. I mean, what is today date? Is today April 5th? It's a month away.
yeah, I know.
And they haven't
Pulls
even.
up.
They haven't even put the hearing together. The
No.
hearing is like what, the 18th or something?
Canelo backed out.
Why did he back out?
I just don't think. I think he knew the odds were against him and backed out. And then Triple G still planning on fighting May 5th.
Wow.
He's still gonna fight. And
Who
I was
the
hoping
fuck is he gonna fight?
I'd love it if he fought Billy Joe Saunders, but Joe Saunders can't fight till June. So
Why?
Because he's coming off a hand injury. But he's like, I'm ready in June. Let's do it in June. If I'm Triple G, I'm not fighting May 5th. You're gonna sell 30 pay-per-views. When Canelo drops out, whoever they replace with, it's not going to be a huge name. I'm sure it's going to be a tough guy. It's going to be a worthy opponent. It's not going to be a tough, it's not going to make you bank. You make bank off your pay-per-view.
Yeah, nobody
just
does that
fight
like
in
the
June.
UFC.
Just fight in June.
Right.
Fight fucking Billy Joe Saunders in June for us.
Yeah, but the problem is they don't have the date in June. When you look at a venue like the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, that motherfucker is booked out
for years.
way in advance.
Yeah.
Except for the Mayweather on McGregor fight. The Mayweather-McGregor fight, they found an opening. And they said, let's do it.
Because now you're dealing with the boxing commission.
Yeah.
Didn't they have to pay?
They have to pay, yeah.
No, Ice Cube's basketball league had it booked. So they made
They
a deal
pay
with
like
them or
Ice
something
Cube's
that.
basketball league. How much do they have to
3-on-3
pay?
league.
How much do they have to pay Ice Cube?
I heard $6 million.
Yeah, something.
Really?
Yeah, I heard they paid $6 million, and then they didn't like the parking lot.
Damn.
But it's 3-on-3 basketball so Ice Cube, get the fuck out the way. I'll watch 3-on-3 at the rec. I'm not trying to see these old basketball players play 3-on-3. Get the fuck out so we can watch Conor versus Floyd.
What
Don't
is
give us any
Ice Cube's
hassle.
basketball league?
It's this 3-on-3 league.
What is it?
They have a bunch of old college players and some old NBA players, and they play a 3-on-3 half-court game. They put it on TV. It was done every week in a different city in a
They have a
tournament.
4-point shot. It's like if they had a Masters league and you could only use your left jab, that's what it's like in the UFC. No, it's a fucking
shot,
nightmare.
you sons of bitches. Karate is back. New World Full Contact Karate Combat League kicks off. Is this with Boss Rutan?
Just announced today, yeah.
Yeah, Boss Rutan is the
Commentator?
The commentator. He's coming on. He might have something to do with the organization too. Boss is coming on next week to talk about it. El Guapo in the house.
I love Boss.
I love Boss too. They play in a pit, or they fight rather in a pit.
In a straight pit, like sand pit?
Look at it. See it?
Oh, bro, Chuck Norris did this shit.
Yeah, that's the way to go, man.
Oh, yeah, it worked out great for Chuck.
Look, it did work out great. He had a lot of successful shows.
Yeah, they have a fight booked April 26th in Miami.
Wonderboy fought in it at
They're going to
least.
fight with karate pants on, too, it looks like. So they're fighting with little gloves on, but they're wearing karate pants.
And it's going to be in the Olympics. Not this exact thing, but karate's in the Olympics for the next one.
Karate's in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, all these fighters better pray to God Wonderboy doesn't get a feather up his ass decide to join this league.
Or Raymond Daniels or any of these world-class guys.
Oh, you're screwed.
Now, can you kick to the legs?
Oh, I don't know about rules on it.
You better be able to kick to the legs. You can fuck it.
For sure fighting a sandpit, though.
They should fight in a basketball court.
Oh, God damn
Enough!
it. Stop that.
I can't.
We can't
Can't
sell
stop.
that.
Fight in a basketball court. Period.
Doesn't say much.
Don't let them
about
get
the
too
rules.
close to the fans.
full contact.
Don't let him get too close to the fans.
3 rounds, 3 minutes. Offensive techniques scored more highly than counter-strikes.
It says karate is back. Approximately 50 million Americans have participated in karate at some point in their lives.
Wow.
And then I grew the fuck up.
You gotta stop with that.
Then I grew the fuck up.
Yeah.
Then I realized, I'm not learning shit that Jean-Claude did in the movies, and this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, when someone says that, karate, approximately 50 million Americans have participated in karate at some point in their life. Yeah, little kids taking fucking karate classes. My 7-year-old's awesome at it.
Correct. Yeah, me too. That's great. I was a yellow belt.
Fuck out of here. The problem with karate is we already know about MMA and we already know about Muay Thai. But
and jiu-jitsu.
What I do like is if they allow leg kicks and they have those small gloves on, it's basically like...
It's an MMA fight, but all standing.
Yeah, it's all standing.
But also, they're not going to allow leg kicks.
God, they got to allow leg kicks. That's a huge fuck up if they don't allow leg kicks.
Is Boss just a commentator or he's in on it as promoter?
I don't know. We're going to find out next week. But I would hope that they allow leg kicks. I don't even like that Glory doesn't allow elbows. I feel like you should allow elbows.
I agree.
I think that's the sport. The sport is if you're going to stand up, it should be Muay Thai. I mean, that to me is the sport. The rules of Muay Thai. You could throw wheel kicks in Muay Thai. Yeah. You could throw flying side kicks. You do whatever the fuck you want. But you also can do Muay Thai, like knees to the body, elbows to the face, all those super effective close-range techniques that Glory doesn't allow.
But I think they're worried about with the elbows. Guys aren't going to be able to fight, close together because the elbows, because of cuts. Yeah. But however, I'd rather deal with that than not allow elbows.
Well, I don't like the guys fighting close together. I think that's super dangerous.
That's
I think
the sport, though, isn't it?
But when you have guys fight more than one time in a night, I think that is fucking crazy. When you have guys fight 2-3 times a night, like Joe Schilling did in the LA Last Man Standing event, that is bananas. Like you're taking a giant chance. You're hoping that someone doesn't get severely concussed, even in a win in their first fight, and then come back and fight in the second fight.
Doesn't that make it fun, though? Like, that's kind of the nature of the game? Like, what about wrestling? Like, NCAAs, those guys wrestle a few
times. They're not getting head kicked.
They're cutting massive weight.
They are cutting massive weight, but they're not getting head kicked. Getting head kicked in the first round and getting up at the count of 7.
And then fighting later.
And then fighting. And then getting head kicked again an hour later.
It's nuts.
Crazy.
I agree.
It's crazy. I just don't like it. And also, you don't get the best guy versus the best guy in an even situation, right? Like if one guy wins by first round knockout, the other guy has a 4-round war, like Joe Schilling did when he fought Simon Marcus, right?
Amazing fight.
Crazy fight. They go to 3 rounds. It's a draw. They go to the third. And Joe had been knocked down, I think, in the first, and then Joe starched him in the fourth.
But isn't that kind of cool? If you know the sport, you're like, damn, look how these guys just get through this. They've dealt with this, and now it's kind of cool.
But
we know the repercussions. Most people don't.
Right. Well, then the UFC should bring back a tournament too. Then
I'm not mad at that. The Pride tournaments. It's so old school.
Yeah.
And people are probably gonna die because guys are so good now. But it's what you sign up for.
Well, the problem is if one guy goes through 3 rounds of hell and the other guy just lands like a Connor straight left hand they did on Aldo and wins in 13 seconds, it's just not fair.
I know.
And
but however, exciting. That guy pulled off that 13-second knockout. Another guy had a war.
It's true. I mean, Glory is the only organization right now that's mainstream where you could watch guys fight more than once in a night. And they do it all the time.
Here's the point why the UFC is never going to do it, and most sports won't do it. It's hard to A, it's a long show. B, it's hard to market that.
It shouldn't be sanctioned.
No. I mean, there's a reason why it's not. You're in the right here. There's a reason why it's not. I like to play devil's advocate, but the reason why it's not is because the masses are like, what?
Isn't it weird?
We just saw him get kicked in the face. He's fighting again?
They sanction it for kickboxing. But they don't sanction that for MMA. Isn't that weird? Because, like, Last Man Standing was in L.A. We saw that at the fucking Forum. Mm-hmm. That was right here.
The whole rules are weird. The judge, and we've talked about this before, and that's why I was so intrigued about the Tony Ferguson fight. And this is why I did stand up at the San Jose Improv, and in the front row, and I didn't know they were going to be there, was all of Team AK, Jon Fitch, Thomson, stuff like that. And after the show, someone in front of them asked me, this before Ferguson dropped, they went, Ferguson, Khabib, who's going to win? And I it was a toss-up for me, but because I thought Tony was going to do work off his back. Right. He was going to land crazy amount of elbows and fuck up Khabib's face. But because Khabib was on top, he'd get the win via decision. And I said the losers are going to be the judges because they won't know how to judge that fight. And saying that in front of the AK team was awkward.
Depends upon how it plays out. But if it plays out the way you described it, yeah. If Tony is landing big shots from the bottom.
Submission threats, elbows, his face is getting bloody, but Khabib's doing work on top, but Tony's still threatening elbows, just fucking him up.
It's possible, but if Khabib mauls him, it should be real clear. We
The
don't even
judging
know if
wouldn't
we're
have
ever
got it
going to
right.
see that now, and that's a sin against humanity. that
Dana
don't
says
even
we
know
won't.
if-
Dana says we will never
That's
see it.
crazy. He said crazy shit like Jon Jones never be in a main event again. He said a lot of crazy shit.
True.
He says
This
crazy
pushing it's a title shot and then someone else does. But
Yeah.
I think he's emotional. He's upset. I'd be pissed too. But also, think how much money he's missed out on. That'd be if they tried again. It'd be the 5th time trying to promote this.
Is that
and
the
also,
5th, really?
This is the 4th they've dropped out. 4th they've tried to make this fight.
That's
Sean
insane.
Shelby and Joe Sill was trying to make this fight before he retired. It's the
my
one fight he wanted to
God.
make, never happened.
Oh my
so if you're
God.
Dana, you're like, hold up, how much money have we put in marketing to these fucks? And it just doesn't happen for us. We're out.
But if
We're
it
out.
does happen,
You got to do it.
you know, you said that you didn't believe it was going to happen until you saw the door bolt and they're standing next to each other.
And here we are.
Yeah, you were right.
It's such a shame. You're the first person I texted when I saw it because we were talking about how sad we'd be.
It's such a bummer. But this is the next best thing. No, the next best thing is Conor. This is the next best
This is
thing.
this is the next best thing on a 6 days notice.
Yeah, you would never get Conor on 6 days' notice.
No.
But if Conor, what if Conor was scheduled to fight? See, the thing about a Conor at this stage is there's no tune-up fights. It's never going to happen again.
No.
Like every fight is just giant.
The only fight where it would be a level playing field would be Nate Diaz because he's been out just as long. So you're both going to have a little bit of ring rust. You're both going to be out for a long time. You're both going through the same thing. You fight a guy like Khabib.
Do you think they offered it to Nate? Who do you think they offered it to? We know they offered it to Ortega.
Ortega, Eddie Alvarez.
And Alvarez said no, right?
Yeah.
Why did he say no?
I'm not sure.
Out of shape. Too
Is that
heavy
shape?
right now.
Oh, yeah, he's 190.
He's been doing it too long. He knows.
said
He's
he's
like, I'm
190.
not making that, son.
He said, I'm all of 190.
I love Eddie Alvarez.
Imagine losing 35 fucking pounds.
Nah. How
Jesus.
much, and if you know, please say it for everyone, how much you think they paid Max Holloway to take this fight? 6 day notice, and they go, bro, we know you're champ at 145. Here's the offer. Because
All
there's
I
no way we're
know-
just giving you this much.
All I know is what Eddie told me on the podcast about Tony. He said he was going to make millions. So if that's what we know, we got to assume there's a big paycheck in it for Max Holloway.
I told Brian goes, how much do you think he's going to pay? And I said, if I'm Max, I don't take that fight for under $4 million. I know they're in a tough position and they need a big name and they're trying to recruit the pay-per-views. So I got them back in the corner. I'm on a long-ass win streak. I'm saying $4 million or bust.
Ooh, you're a bold man. I'd say 2.
2 after taxes.
Yeah.
That's not worth it. That's fuck that.
Not when
noise.
you're fighting Khabib.
Fuck no. What? I need $1 million for every day. So 6 days. Six
you
million.
know, Max can submit people, but we don't anticipate him submitting Khabib. It seems like
Khabib's grappling's on a higher level than Max.
it seems like the way Max can win this fight is by pacing, because even if Max is not in shape, he's in phenomenal shape. I mean, he's got an incredible cardio base, and he really knows how to pace himself very well.
Pacing if it's
can
more
keep
of a
the guy
stand-up
off him.
fight and if it's at his tempo.
Yep.
Khabib goes, what's your tempo? And just throws it in a blender.
Yeah,
So, and it's a 6 day notice, and it's a Max who's taking time off, spend time with his family. So all the chips are just stacked against Max.
all of it. And it's a weight class above his weight class. It's Khabib, who's a huge 155. It's arguably the best grappler in the UFC.
And the other problem is he really doesn't entertain the stand-up game, so your chance of the home run shot it's even dropped even lower. That's why I'm saying $4 million.
Did you hear what he said about it? He said, "Thank you for taking fight. I don't think you'll ever be the same again." Oh. So after this fight,
Mufasa.
I don't think you'll ever be the same again.
And he's probably not lying.
That's a dark thing to say, too. Not just,
Oh
I'm going
my
to win,
God, I didn't
but
see
you'll
that.
never be the same again.
It breaks my heart.
Dude, we might see
I hope
it.
he's wrong. And you know what I'd do if I was in Max's corner, and if it's like halfway through that second round, and I'm like, damn, Max looks exhausted because he's not in shape. He's just taking a beating. He's so tough. He's probably gonna last 5 rounds. I throw in that towel. I'm gonna take all the shit from the fans because I don't want Max dealing with this because this isn't his fight. To be honest, this isn't his fight. This isn't his path. He's
Well-
gonna make $4 million, hopefully, and he's gonna be set for life financial if he's smart with his money. However, this isn't his path. We did this to help out the UFC. He made bank. here's the towel. Fuck you. I know you're gonna hate me, Max. We'll talk in Hawaii over a bowl of ahi tuna.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, if we know, I think with a Khabib fight, one of the things is after the first round, you kind of know how it's going to go.
Well, no. But the thing for Max, too, if he had 12 weeks and he's in phenomenal shape and he gets taken down a la kind of Chad Mendez, Conor McGregor, when Conor got taken down, we're like, it's just a matter of time. Wear him out. Matter of time. You're going to catch him. But with this, Khabib's in better shape. He's had more time. He's been preparing for a guy who's insane cardio shape. So it's just the odds are so fucked for Max.
Crazy. Really crazy.
I'm stressed. I'm so stressed. As I'm explaining it myself, I'm stressed out.
Wow, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, man.
It's going to be a good one. So we were talking before, let's wrap this up, but before this, we want to do a fight companion, but there's no fights that we're all around for a fight companion. So let's do a fight companion, get all the boys in here, and put on some fights.
Do it
some
on a
old
random
school
night or
fights.
something like that.
Yeah, like a fucking Tuesday or some shit.
And maybe order a couple pizzas.
Yeah.
I'm eating pizza every now and then.
Well, every now and then.
Me
Try
too.
not to.
Well, wait. We'll save for a cheat meal.
Okay.
How about neither one of us cheat till that night?
Okay.
Deal?
It's a deal.
Deal. I'll get the
All right.
pizzas.
Let's wrap this bitch up. Brendan Schaub, Big Brown Breakdown.
No,
on
Below the
iTunes.
Belt. No more. It's just
You're not
Below the
doing
Belt.
it?
Well, no, the
Both of
podcast
them?
is renamed Below the Belt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Still on my show. You know what I'm saying? Still on my show. Below the
Interesting.
Belt. Yeah. Next
Change
episode.
the name of your podcast.
Just so it's all in
to go with
cohesion.
your show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Next episode's number 4 episode next Wednesday night, and then
tfatk.com.
tfatk.com, Fighting the Kid, and then Friday night, Bakersfield. There's 30 tickets left this Friday night.
Where
Bakersfield.
you at in Bakersfield?
Tumberland Brewing or something. Joey
Okay.
Diaz is there. I guess it's a good spot.
I love Bakersfield.
I'm
it's
excited.
fucking fun, man. I had a great time in Bakersfield.
I'm there this Friday night, and then April 20th, 21st, Calgary. Yuck Yucks.
Boom. Beautiful.
Houston, June.
See ya.
TFAK. Love you.
Bye, everybody.